1 second. I had prepared a question for the live stream. Hey Dracolomb. Nice to see you. Can you hear me okay? It is much nicer today outside. Hello Lucy. Nice to see you here. Nice to see you, Fishbones. Matthew Scott already coming with the religious Jesus is Lord. Not my Lord. But you're welcome to believe that for yourself, and that's perfectly fine. We all appreciate that. We are in Amsterdam again. We are doing the social experiment again. It is a nice Sunday. It is quite warm to be honest today. It's not as cold. It's maybe like 10 degrees today outside, 10 degrees Celsius. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit. Maybe I should look it up, but I don't actually know if any of you are Americans. I'm a bit tired, I won't lie. I'm always tired on Sundays because on Saturdays I refuse to go to bed early and I wake up very early. It's one of those I want to just do more in that day because it's kind of my day off. Yeah. And there's a lot of people today here. There is a Christmas market here. That's kind of the entrance to the Christmas market. And there's a lot of people passing by from all directions. So I'm hoping we get enough people today to have a conversation with. Let's see. We're already a couple of activists here. We're 1, 2, 3, 4 activists. We're doing all social experiments. They are doing different social experiments than me, but we're all trying. Matthew Scott says, if you die without surrendering to him, you will spend eternity in hell. Yeah, Matthew Scott, if you say that, can you please explain to me what merciful, compassionate God would say, if you die, if you don't believe in me, you will burn in hell, and I will give you zero evidence for my existence, right? Because there's no evidence for the existence of God. Like, you can't say that the Bible is an evidence for the existence of God, because that's just the whole purpose of the Bible is to perpetuate religion, right? Not necessarily to prove the existence of God. So it's kind of messed up if you think about it, right? That there is absolutely zero proof nowadays that God exists, and yet if you don't believe in God, you would burn in hell. So how would that happen? Please explain to me. Hell is where factory farm animals already are. Exactly, Fishbones. Very well put. Hey, you guys want to try a social experiment?
What kind of social experiment?
I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
100%.
You okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, of course.
What's your name?
Keen.
Keen, nice to meet you. I'm
Nice
Chip.
to meet you, mate. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, so I'll just turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
Legal? No.
Why not?
No chance. Because look at them. They're cute. You know what I mean? No,
What if they
really
wouldn't be
cute.
cute?
Even so, it's an animal. It's like a living being. So I don't know why it
It's
should
like
be
saying,
horrible
would
to
you
it.
want to be battered? You wouldn't want to be hurt. It's unfair. It's not nice.
Yeah, so it would be wrong to harm animals because they're sort of the same as us,
Yeah,
right?
same
In
as
all the ways that matter, basically, because they
Yeah,
have
100%.
emotions, they feel.
Yeah,
It's
share
like you say, what
feelings.
is it? Dogs for life, not just Christmas. Like
Yeah.
that thing. People just get a dog because they think it's a nice thing to have, and then they can't afford it, and then just abandon it. But
Yeah, that's
you don't do that to people. You don't just abandon your child. So
exactly. How would you define abuse?
It could be in many ways. You've got physical, you've got mental. You could not be feeding them. You might be physically attacking them.
I guess
you might be not showing them love.
I guess not feeding them would still be physical, but yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs. What about the rest of animals,
Any
like
kind of animal.
cows, chickens, pigs?
No, not them animals.
Is it wrong to abuse them?
Nah, I think
depends how you
yeah,
do it.
it's how you just view it, and it's your opinion. Because obviously, I know people have opinions on killing animals to eat,
Is that not harming them if you kill them?
but that's how you survive.
Well,
know
you
what I
can
mean?
survive without killing them, right?
You could be vegetarian.
Yeah, or vegan.
But a big person like me, I can't eat leaves for the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think vegans only eat leaves?
Like grass and
Not grass.
lettuce, green stuff.
No, we don't. Like, do you just eat meat or animal
Yeah,
products?
like
Do you
the
not
other-
eat anything
I
else on
eat-
the side?
I eat loads of stuff.
Do you eat
like-
potatoes,
Yeah,
pasta,
yeah.
rice, beans, lentils, chickpeas? There's more food that is vegan than that is not vegan. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that actually.
There
Learn
is.
something new
There
every day.
is. I mean, what is not vegan? Define some non-vegan food, for example.
Do you know what vegan is?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you know what being vegan is?
Just
don't
not
know
eat,
what vegan is.
just not eating meat. I don't know the difference between vegan and vegetarian.
Okay, well, being vegan literally means not. It's a vegetarian is a diet.
Yeah.
Veganism is not a diet. It's a moral stance where we say animals should not be exploited for us
Okay.
because you wouldn't want humans to be exploited for us, just like the abuse experiment, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want animals to be abused, why would you? If you don't want humans to be abused, why would you abuse animals? If you don't want humans to be exploited, why would you exploit animals?
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
I say,
people see it though,
yeah.
because like, I'm
Yeah,
assuming you
but-
wouldn't harm any
But like
animal.
other animals, like your chickens, I don't believe in like caging animals. Like let them live their life, and then when they're like coming to the end of it, then you can. Do you know what I mean? But if it's like they're just doing it until they get to a good age and then slaughtering them, I don't agree with that at all.
But you do eat chickens, right?
Yeah, of course. I
So
do.
you say you don't agree with it, but chickens are
No,
killed at
like,
the
if
age
you
of
were-
40 days old.
If they were like just sat in a cage all day and all
So you
night,
mean,
I'd
like, when
understand
they
it.
have
But
eggs,
like,
that you have free range
yeah, like your
eggs and
free
you've got the
range
cage
eggs.
one.
I'll
So what you're saying is they, as long as they have a nice life, it's okay to do whatever we want to them, as long as we give them a nice life.
yeah, they've got a good life.
Yeah, have you had a good life?
So far, it's been up and down. Do you know what I
Is
mean?
is it okay for somebody to do whatever they want to you because you
I've
have
not
had a
lived
good
my life yet.
What do you mean? A chicken is killed way before you are. A chicken is killed at 40 days old. They can live up to 10 years. So they
10 years, yeah.
So they're killed at what? Less than 1% of their
Less
lifespan.
than 1%. Well, I feel sorry for chickens. Feel sorry for them. But they do taste
Well,
good.
do you really feel sorry for them? Because feeling sorry for them would imply that you would feel remorse and you wouldn't want to do it anymore.
I wouldn't change it because if I'm going out somewhere, I know that I'm going to pick that food.
So wait a minute. Just before that, you were saying animal abuse is wrong,
Yeah,
and all of
but
a sudden you're
shit.
justifying animal
Chicken,
abuse.
I
Say
wouldn't-
something to this then, 'cause,
Go on then.
like, what's the one? I've seen a sign. You know, it says where do you draw the line of
Yeah.
like pets and food.
Yeah, that's an ad by PETA. Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't know what it is, but there's a line like I wouldn't kill a horse because that's a pet to me. But a chicken, I wouldn't have that as a pet, so it won't be a pet for me. But you might want a chicken as a pet.
But what if I define blonde women as individuals who I want to exploit and slaughter? I define them that way. You define you define.
Psychopath.
It's just as random as you defining chickens not worthy
Where's
of
the
life,
police?
right?
Get
Yeah,
him.
because
Found him.
Let's say I find the legal loophole, right? Because legality doesn't necessarily involve morality, right?
I
Say
can't
that again,
remember
sorry.
what it was. Who was it who loved blonde hair and blue eyed people?
Germans.
Was it Germans? There's some. I don't know the story behind it, but I know there's something like that. If that's
Yeah.
Sort of what you
During
mean.
World War II, Germans have persecuted Jewish people for being
Yeah.
Jewish. They maintain the same positions that you say about chickens. They said about Jewish people. We're superior to them,
But
therefore we
what
can do this to
what
them.
does a chicken and a cow do to this world? That
What does
Cows are actually bad for the environment
yeah, when they burn.
when they are farting methane and shit like
Yeah,
that.
so then therefore we shouldn't bring them to existence for the sole purpose of exploiting
But
them, right?
the more cows that there are just leaving about and we're not killing, the more we're gonna damage our thing.
Yeah, so therefore
Obviously,
we shouldn't be
damage it.
exploiting them. We shouldn't
No,
be
no,
bringing them
no.
to life to
I
exploit
wouldn't
them.
exploit them at all. Like I say, I think with animals, as long as they're coming towards the end of their life, fair enough. It's like if
But okay, let's assume you believe that. But nothing you buy from animal agriculture is that way.
yeah, that's now, but I can't do nothing about that.
Well, you can choose to oppose it if you say that,
No,
that
but
you
I
don't
would
agree with
rather-
it.
I would rather them live their life and then eat them. But if I can't, I can't. That's not down to me. I can't just go.
What do you
"Oh,
mean? You make choices.
Yeah, but I can't just go.
Do you think that
"Oh,
you're not responsible for the death of
that-
the animals that die for you?
That chicken's only lived 39 days. I'm not going to eat that one, but that one's lived for 50 days, so I want to eat that one.
Do you think you're responsible for the death and exploitation that the animals suffer because of you, because you pay?
Me? I wouldn't say me personally. We're collective as meat lovers. I'd say so, but
So you think you have no responsibility?
no, not a chance.
It depends how you see it though, because
That's
some
right.
people say because you're eating it, that means you're funding it, you want more.
Exactly.
That's how they see it. But then I wouldn't.
want
I'd
more.
never not
It
have a
tastes
steak.
nice. Like,
Steak's my favourite food.
obviously,
so
like I say, a lot of people have the
But who
different.
cares if that's your favorite food?
That's what I mean. But it's like it depends.
If
Like,
my favorite food is the food of a human being, just cutting it down and boiling it and adding some salt to it, would that be fair for me to kill a human being to eat their food?
some people do.
But would that be fair? That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking if it's happening. I'm asking, would that be fair?
If the person, I guess, agrees to
Well,
it, but then
I
a
feel
chicken
like-
can't agree.
Chicken doesn't, right?
I feel like what humans do though to the earth and what we do for each other and provide is a lot more essential than what a chicken provides.
What do you do that's essential for humanity that you provide?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I build cages for big supermarkets. I get grafted day in, day out. I get paid a shit wage, but we've got to live and learn in this life. You're not always going to be getting a silver spoon in your mouth, so you just got to keep working.
So you're not essential, really. Somebody could definitely kill you and use you, right?
Could use me. I mean, they can do what they want with me. I'm
Yeah,
dead.
there you go. Would that be fair for you? If somebody has power over you to use you and exploit you just because they can?
I wouldn't want someone killing me.
You wouldn't want it.
I'd rather not myself.
Okay, so why would you
However-
assume that then the
Well,
animals
it's
do
out of
it?
it- it's out of a
Wouldn't you
chicken's
want to be
hands.
Wouldn't you want to be treated the same way you treat others? Isn't that the whole purpose
Yeah,
of our
as
society?
humans, but a chicken. It's like this pigeon now. If a pigeon came past here and shit on you, are you going to be angry? Yeah. You're going to want to think, you know what, next time I see that pigeon, he's getting it.
I don't think that pigeon shit on me on purpose. You,
No.
however, exploit animals on purpose. You can choose
Right,
otherwise.
So if I'm driving down the road and I accidentally kill a chicken, can I now eat that chicken?
If you're
Fine.
driving down the road and you accidentally run over a human being, you can eat that human being also. I don't care. But that's not what you're doing when you go into a supermarket, is it? What you're doing when you're going into a supermarket, you're creating demand. You're telling
So then
you're telling
how
the
do-
farmers,
how do
slash more
farmers-
throats so that I get more meat. That's what you're telling
How
me.
are farmers meant to earn their money, their way of living?
Oh, well, how were the slave owners supposed to make money otherwise? How were the slave traders
There's
supposed
no
to make
slave-
money?
No slaves.
But there were
No
slaves 100 years ago. Should we
Yeah,
have been
100
worried?
years ago. It's not now.
What do you mean? We're enslaving animals. That's literally enslavement.
Like I say, animals and people are a lot different.
Okay, what is that difference? That justifies enslaving one but not the other.
I can speak to one. One is
Be careful with.
useless.
I'll equalize it.
A chicken is useless.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the fact that if we find a human being who cannot speak, I could enslave them. Because that's the difference
no,
between
not
them.
just that.
What
I'm
else is
saying-
there?
I'm saying like a chicken doesn't come and provide for an economy. It doesn't come and give jobs to people.
So any human being that doesn't have a job and cannot speak, we can exploit them and slaughter them.
No, we need to send them somewhere to get him work and to help the economy. That's why these systems set out to help people.
But
get
they
into
don't want to
work.
do that, so therefore they're useless
that-
to the economy.
They are useless.
So if any human being that's useless to the economy, we can enslave and exploit.
No,
That's not how it works.
That's not what I'm
So
saying.
then again,
no.
what is the morally significant difference between that and an animal that justifies the difference in
It's
treatment?
one too like thingy for my
Yeah,
brain.
like my head's just all over. I just want.
Do you think you're an animal?
Eh?
Do you think you're an animal?
Yeah, I'm a mammal.
You're a mammal. They're mammals too. What makes you think that you are superior to them? That you can justify treating them like slaves, literally?
I don't do it personally. I
Well,
just eat them.
you support it. You
Yeah,
pay people to do it.
I support it, but there's no.
If I pay somebody
saying-
to kill somebody else, is it not my responsibility?
No, it's the person doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I have zero responsibility in the matter. Well,
Just because you pay someone to do it, it's down to them to actually do it. I can pay. I can pay a
I
farmer.
don't think
and-
you're. I don't think you're
I-
judging this the right
I
way.
can pay a farmer £1 million to go and do something. If he decides to do it, that is on him. I've just paid him to do it. But I could pay him the money and he decides not to do it. That's also down to him. So
Okay, so then there should also be no repercussions if you pay somebody to do something and they don't do it.
say that again, sorry.
If you pay somebody to do something and they refuse to do it, there should be no repercussions for that person.
No.
No.
It's
I mean,
like-
obviously
it's like-
you don't. You honestly don't.
It's like if I give you £10 now.
I mean, you're
to-
living in a dream world, right? Because what you're
No,
saying
if
is
I
that
give you a tenner to
if
go
somebody
to the shop-
supplies services for you and
Yeah.
you don't want to and they don't want they don't want to provide services, you pay for them to provide services for you, and they refuse to provide the services for you. You're saying that that's okay.
No, I'll just get my money back.
This one.
And you can't get your money back, right? But that's the
this
whole
one's
point.
heavy.
The
Right.
whole point of it is, and what I'm asking is, we're all animals on the same planet.
Yeah,
Just because we
like
develop
I
higher
say,
intelligence
I
and we have
fully
power over them doesn't
Yeah.
mean we get to exploit and use them.
I know where you're coming from, but obviously you're gonna have your opinion. I'm gonna have.
But this
mine,
isn't my
so.
opinion. You are exploiting animals. This isn't an
See,
opinion. This is
what
a
you're saying.
reality.
You're saying I am doing it, but I'm not.
Where are you giving your money? If somebody's paying for exploitation, is that person not responsible for the exploitation that they're paying for?
That's too far in my head. That's just.
What do you think?
I don't understand half the words you say.
Okay, let me ask you. If
I
I pay somebody to kill somebody else, am I responsible for it?
It depends what it is, I guess.
If I pay somebody to kill your boyfriend, am I responsible for it?
Well, yeah, both of you are, you and the person, I'd say.
So I'm also responsible for it.
Yeah, because you paid someone and then that person did it.
So if you
I
pay
say-
farmers to exploit and slaughter animals, you're responsible for it.
Oh, yeah, because I'm the one eating it.
Yeah.
I know, I agree with what you're saying, but I won't not eat it because I like steak and chicken.
So is your pleasure worth more than an animal's life?
You only
It
live
Your
life-
5 minutes of pleasure is
way-
worth more than the whole existence of an animal. That's what you're saying.
It sounds so horrible in the way you say it, doesn't it?
But that's
Like-
the reality, you know. That's the reality from their perspective. Just because you refuse to engage with their perspective doesn't mean that that's not real.
But
Yeah, no, I get
that's
that.
just life. It's literally just a food chain.
It's
It's
just,
so
it's
easy
never
for you
gonna-
to say when you're in the perspective of the one
No,
who is abusing
it-
animals.
it is a-
It's
it is
never
a
going to
food
change,
chain.
though. It won't ever change.
Who cares? The question is, do you want to be part of it or not? Raping is never going to stop across the world. That doesn't mean we go around raping people, right? We can't just do something that's
I see
ugly
that.
and immoral just because others do it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just see that
Yeah,
on a
but I
complete
don't do it.
different extreme. Like, that is big killing, raping,
That's
kidnapping.
literally what happens in
All
animal
that
agriculture.
I know, I get what you're saying, but
No, I don't think you do. I don't
no,
think you do.
I really do.
I think.
I watch these on YouTube,
Yeah,
so
all
I
the
get it.
time. All the time.
So you think, like this, right here, is justified for what?
But the way
Would it be if
it's
it were
this-
you? Would it be
depends how
justified?
it's done, isn't it?
What do you mean? How it depends? They always cut the throat of an animal. Always, 100% of the
It's
time.
the way they sometimes don't they stim them or something, so they go numb, so they don't feel it. Or
So if
something.
somebody were to kill you, would you care about how they do it, or would you care that they don't do it? That they don't do it. If they had the options to not do it.
Obviously, I don't want to be killed.
So why would you assume that animals want
Well,
to?
like I say, it's the food chain. It's like if you didn't have
There's
a top,
different ways.
if you didn't have a top predator to eat the other ones outgrow it, and then the other ones start. It just ruins the whole food chain. You know what I mean? It's
What
like
food chain is it when we bring animals to existence for the sole purpose
Oh,
of exploiting them and
we-
slaughtering them?
Food chain.
That's nothing to
Yeah,
do
we're
with food
top of it.
chain.
Top of it.
We're not top of the food chain, and the food chain is not a measurement of power. First of all, the food chain.
Who's the top of it?
No, the food chain is a measurement of how energy flows in an ecosystem. It
Yeah.
literally says grass gets their energy from the sun. Other beings who are herbivores get their energy from the grass or plants, then so on. And it shows how much energy is lost if somebody's carnivorous. It doesn't mean that the wolf is more powerful than the lamb.
We've been told it wrong in school, because we've known the lion eats this, and then the bird
But
eats
either
that.
way, even if you consider it as a measurement of power, yeah, we have power over animals clearly. But does that justify exploiting them and slaughtering them?
But what about when people
well,
say?
that's like when an alligator goes and eats a buffalo or something.
Yeah,
Like,
but the
you wouldn't like to see it, and you don't like seeing it happen, but it happens because it's the food chain. They're going to do it. That's what they have to eat to survive.
But there's a difference. They don't have an option. You have an option.
But I'm telling you now, if I sat there and ate lettuce for a week, I'd be starving. I'd be
Then nobody's
skinny.
saying you should eat lettuce, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but even just pasta, I need my protein, my.
Do you think I don't get
nutrients.
protein? I think I have more muscles than you, dude. What are you talking about?
They say
I just can't
you
eat
can
that, bro.
tofu, that's protein. Like, there's ways you can get
I'd rather eat
protein,
my
but I just would. I mean, I like tofu, but I just wouldn't eat it.
Okay, well, there's two ways to go about this, right? You're either saying you're against animal abuse or you continue supporting it. So which is it? Are you going to continue supporting animal abuse?
Yeah, I love my chickens.
So what would you call a person who supports animal abuse?
But it's how you
It's
see
the way
it.
you're saying
It's
it, because
actually-
I don't
what-
see as like farmers like the
I
way
wouldn't
of
see
their
it as a
living,
collective
getting
whole.
money.
You-
is-
You think this is not abuse of animals? I show you again.
What about when people say like when food's halal, it's done differently? They're draining the blood out of it.
Yeah, is this not abuse? Killing
Yeah,
somebody
I'd say-
for something
no,
that is
I'd
optional
say-
to
I'd
use,
say
not abuse?
selectively, yeah, like sheep's. cows and stuff like that.
Sheep,
Kill
cows,
him.
and chicken. But you showed us
Kill
dogs and cats. That's different.
What is the difference between a dog and a cow?
That's a pet.
Who cares what? Who
pet
cares what
different
quantifier
animals.
you give them
I will
to them?
happily
If again,
say
if I
I
quantify
abuse-
all blonde women as slaves, does that mean all blonde women should be enslaved because I gave them the quantifier as slaves? Just because you gave them the quantifier as pets does not mean that they should be pets. They have a life on their own. They have a will on their own.
I don't know.
Hey, you man, double tap the fuck out alive. Double tap the fuck out alive.
Stop it.
Hey,
mean-
but
I mean,
honestly though, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
I mean, I'm just gonna fist bump you. Not,
fist
I don't
bump
want to,
me.
but like,
It's alright, I've got blood on my hands. That's
you
what
gotta stop being animal abusers.
Hey,
That's what you are right now. You may not like to hear it, but that's what you are. From their perspective, you are the ones who force them in slaughterhouses. But these industries don't tell you this, of course, because these industries they want you to pay for it. Of course, they won't
Obviously,
show
they
you
want
the
the money.
perspective. Say it again.
They want the money, obviously.
Exactly, they want the money, and
They
you
aren't
give
gonna
them the
show
money.
you what's behind the doors.
Exactly.
They
I
never
have
do.
zero incentives here to tell you. I have zero financial incentives or anything. I'm just here to tell you the truth. The truth is, for these animals, you are oppressors. You are the ones who are sending them to slaughterhouses. You are their fucking devil. If you ever believed in that, because you are the ones who are making them be exploited and slaughtered. If you would stop, some animals would stop being there. And even if it's just one animal, it would be massive for their whole life. For you, it's what, 5 minutes of food that you could easily choose otherwise. You could easily learn to like something else. If you say you like steak so much, there's vegan steaks, there's so many options out there. Like, it's ridiculous to justify exploitation and abuse, taking so many lives just because you think that's the only way you want to get pleasure. I think it's ridiculous. But if you want to maintain the
Obviously,
status, just keep in mind that you will be abusers to those animals.
obviously, it's like, would you get high designer stuff or the cheap branded stuff? So which one would you rather pick? Definitely the high brand, but
But then it depends how somebody sees it. You can't put stuff like that against that because obviously he doesn't eat meat, we do. So we see meat as the top, he sees meat as the bottom.
Yeah,
It
yeah, like
doesn't
I say,
work.
it's
I don't care about meat. I really don't care what you eat.
do you
I only
eat it?
care that innocent sentient beings are slaughtered. You know, these animals are innocent. They are brought to existence to be killed and exploited for us. They're not. I don't care that you go around eating. If you want to eat grass or you want to eat wood or whatever it is that you want to eat, I don't care. As long as you don't exploit others. That's the whole perspective, right? That's the whole idea. Literally, it's not a diet. It's not about diet. It's about the rights of animals. If you say you respect animals, you can't possibly send them to the slaughterhouse because you like the taste of their flesh. That cannot possibly be any form of respect.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
well,
'Cause I understand what you mean, but it just
Big
depends
deal.
how you
Well,
see it.
we thank you for listening to you.
Yeah,
We
but
thank
from
you
your
for doing
perspective, you
this.
can obviously see it as differently. But if you look from their perspective, obviously when there's a victim, you should always consider the victim's perspective. If
Yeah,
you look
'cause
from their
I see
perspective,
both sides. I understand it. I don't know. I just wouldn't.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what to
I
tell
could be
you. You know?
classed as whatever you want to call it, but I don't. I'm not doing it. So technically,
Yeah, but-
in my eyes, I'm not doing it. So I'm not.
But you are
abusing them.
supporting it, you know.
Supporting and doing and it's different.
Well, let me
though,
pose this
isn't it?
hypothetical for you, right? Somebody right here is kicking a dog.
Yeah.
What you can do is either join them, walk by it, say nothing, or say something to them. Let's say your life is in no danger if you do either of them.
Well, I'd take the dog.
Say it again.
I'd want to take the dog off him.
Yeah, you'd want to stop that, right?
Because it's a pet.
Exactly. Well, because it's a pet.
Yeah.
Or is it because they're an innocent being who deserves their life?
Well, it's a pet. It's a dog.
So it's only there. So what if they weren't a pet? That dog, they were just a
If
random
it was
dog.
just a random person on the floor being kicked, I'd still help them because they're being kicked.
Well, they're a dog, not a random person. But yeah, I would consider dogs also people. Just I would consider all animals people because they have personalities, sentience.
Right.
Like I
Minds,
say,
hearts,
I don't
everything.
agree with how they're killed, but
But, there's
But you
different-
support it
but
anyway.
The thing is, that there's
But-
ways that they don't feel it. They've
No, but not
done
even that,
loads of
it's
stuff.
So if you wouldn't feel somebody raping you, would that make the rape okay?
no.
Well, that's just a bit weird, isn't it?
What do you mean? What you're saying is just because they don't feel the bad action we do onto them, it's okay to do it to them.
No, like I say,
Well,
I don't agree with
it
how
doesn't
they're
really work
killed.
like that.
It's like if I was a farmer and I had 2 cows and I let them live the full life and then killed them at the end and then ate it. Is that a problem?
If you killed animals, if you had 3 kids and at the end of their life you kill them because you want to eat them, would that be okay?
No, it's not because I want to eat them, it's because they're going to die. So once they're already going to
They're
die.
gonna die anyway, right? These kids, your grandma's gonna die anyway. If you kill her 3 years before she dies and you want to eat them, is that okay?
but I don't
You
want
just
to eat
wouldn't-
her.
You just wouldn't eat a human.
I don't want
If
to.
if somebody wants to eat their grandma, right? If
We need,
somebody
like,
literally
we need
wants to
someone
do
that
that.
actually would eat a human to answer this, because I wouldn't eat a person. That's weird.
But it's just weird because of social conditioning. There is literally no difference between eating a person and eating an animal. We're all made of flesh.
Yeah, technically, but it's different.
And we all are sentient. We all have emotions. We all don't want to die. Just because chickens cannot say that they don't want to die doesn't mean that they want to die. You know that, right?
Yeah, so what about, like, there's different types of killing. Like, you have, like, when with chicken, you have normal chicken and, like, halal chicken. What's the way it's killed?
Halal just means they don't get a stun gun. That's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
So-
it's the same method. They still have
So
their
does that
throat
hurt
cut.
them more?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's forbidden in the UK, for example.
What, the stun gun or?
No, halal slaughter is forbidden in the UK.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, so they slice the throat, but where is it? In the UK they don't stun gun them.
Yeah, no. In UK it's forbidden to do halal slaughter because that would imply no stunning. But stunning isn't done for the animals. Stunning is done for the workers.
So it
because
doesn't run and attack them and stuff.
well, it's exactly super. Imagine a cow is a big animal.
yeah,
It's
running
super
at you,
difficult.
get squished.
Yeah.
So like they stun them and then they cut the throat, tip them upside down, drain the blood, and then skin them, cut them up, throw them into packages, and then that's it. Then we eat it.
Go to buy better.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, isn't it? If you think from
When
that
you say,
from
when
there.
you look at it, yeah, it's nasty. I don't want to see that sheep, but it's what people eat. I bet if you ask like another 5 people coming down here, they'll all say they'll eat cow.
Well, there's a lot of people who, after knowing this, after seeing this perspective, they want to stop participating in it.
Yeah, no, I watch these things
Yeah.
with the social experiments on TikTok, and a lot of them do say that they don't want to see it because it's horrible, but then they won't change.
Yeah.
So it
But
just depends. But
it depends on the person, right? But
yeah,
I don't think you can ever say that you respect animals or that you're living a moral life when you knowingly are exploiting and slaughtering innocent beings. I'm sorry, you just cannot.
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It's just
So you can-
you
you
see
can-
as animals all as one and people as one, whereas I see everyone's got like a life, we're all breathing and stuff, but.
I just see us.
Animals.
I honestly just see us all as just entities. We're all
Yeah.
just entities who feel, who have emotions, who want to live, who want to do whatever we want to do. Do you really think that 90% of these people are intellectuals and they're thinking and they're creating tools? No, we humans are just animals who know how to use tools. That's all we are. That's all we are. And we've been taught language and everything else. Like all these animals were not taught that, but they still want to live. They still have the same desires, the same feelings we do, the same drives that we do. They feel love for crying out loud. Cows feel love. Like how can we justify killing somebody who feels love? They even feel love for the farmers. A lot of the times when farmers kill them, they cry. But they do it because, people like you support it, because people like you pay for it.
Yeah.
You may not see it because it happens behind closed doors, but it's still one of the worst things that we do as humans.
Yeah, it is, but it's just, I don't think it'll ever change. It won't ever stop. Like, it's
It
always-
will stop. The question is, which part of it do you want to be at? Because it will definitely stop, I can guarantee you that. And it may not stop during our lifetime, but your grandkids might see a world where no animals will ever be exploited, because it is extremely cruel and stupid. Like, imagine when it came to women's rights, at some point, throughout history, like for thousands of years, women never have rights.
Yeah.
And there was a consensus that women will never have rights. Women will always
There
be this
still
way.
is now
But at
in
some point we
places.
changed it. Yeah, we're still fighting for women's rights, sure. But overall, we are trying, and we are seeing a world. We can't see a world where women will have equal rights and opportunities
well,
to
they
men.
do. I think everyone should be equal.
Yeah.
Everyone is, in
Yeah.
my eyes, anyway.
In your eyes, but you only apply that to the group of people that you
People.
belong to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the group of species that you belong to. But if somebody's born into a different species, somehow they're not worthy of life.
Well, it's the way like you put it, because you showed us a dog and a cat. That's like, as I said, a pet. Like a rabbit's a pet. I mean, people eat rabbit, like rabbit's feet and stuff.
People eat
But-
dogs, cats, all over.
That's what I mean. Like in China, they have that dog festival, don't
Yeah,
they? Where
but you
they
wouldn't,
boil
right?
them alive.
But you wouldn't.
I wouldn't go to that. No.
So why?
because it's a
What is
pet.
the difference between a dog that isn't a pet, just a stray
A
dog?
stray dog, then I'd take it in. Now it's a pet. Like a dog, it's different. I see it anyway.
But you wouldn't see a problem with somebody killing a dog and eating them right in front of you.
Well, no, because a dog's a pet. That's what I.
Not to
see.
them.
Oh, so it's not a pet. So is a dog a pet to you?
No.
No. So you'd eat like a dog if you.
I
would.
wouldn't, but let's say if I did that,
Yeah.
would you find it okay?
Well, no, because you're eating a dog.
Yeah, but so why would you be? Don't you see that there's a conditioning in your mind to see these animals one way and these other animals a
Yeah,
different
because
way?
that's how it's been shown and that's how it's been said. Like, you know, you can eat that, don't eat
But
that.
that doesn't mean it's right, does it?
Depends how you see it, I guess.
everything's
Not
right.
everything's right, but
People
people
tell you-
still do it.
People
Yeah,
tell you not
but
to smoke.
but you can't justify doing horrific things just because we've done it forever, or just because things are like you acknowledge that it's not right to do, and yet you still continue to do it because you say people do it, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because it would imply that you need to change. But hey, change is not that difficult. You can change. You have the privilege of changing. These animals don't have the privilege of getting away from their situation. No cow deserves to be forcefully impregnated, to have their babies stolen from them, to have their babies killed, and her to be killed whenever she can no longer be impregnated with ease. But all that happens to them. All that happens to them. And they cannot escape that just because people like you keep paying.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. It's like dogs as well. When dogs are in them kennels and they don't get took, they just get killed. And that's not nice.
That's
but-
not nice, but it's so much worse with. I'm sorry, it's so much worse with farmed animals. It gets
No,
so much
obviously,
worse.
because a dog just gets an injection and
Yeah, they
go
get
to sleep.
euthanized, not killed. Yeah, which is, as you say, not pain. But animals in the farm that are farmed are usually
They
used as
can't be-
resources. They're
yeah, they
seen as
can't be
objects.
euthanized. It messes with something, doesn't it? It messes with like
Exactly.
the blood or something. I don't know, something with it. I don't know.
Exactly. They're just used as resources, literally.
Yeah.
They're not seen as individuals, as people, as animals with personalities. They're just killed and slaughtered. They're just exploited and slaughtered. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Just, I couldn't. Well, I could, but I wouldn't. Let's say then. I would eat meat and chicken.
Again, I'm just being realistic with you. There's just only two ways.
Yeah,
You're
you're
either
Yeah,
supporting
you
animal
support
abuse
it
or
you
not,
don't support
or you
it, but
don't.
it
Yeah.
just-
You can't.
it-
You don't.
it is
There's
a-
no middle
it is,
ground.
It is abuse, but I wouldn't. I'm not like the abuser, but it.
You are. It happens. It starts with you. It starts with you.
I'm the one buying it, but
Exactly.
I'm not doing it. But then when you put it with a person, it's different how I see it. But
It's not different with a person. It's the same thing. Your responsibility. You are responsible for their abuse.
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but you're not in my head. It's different to me.
Just because you wear a glove and you don't touch something, it doesn't mean that you're not doing that one thing. Just because there's multiple steps in between you and that action, it doesn't mean that you're not the one triggering that action. You're not the one doing that action. You have intent. If you have intent for those animals to be abused, that's what you're gonna get. Animals being abused. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright, so appreciate your time. Good hearing from you.
Can I give you a card?
A card.
Yeah. Look into it at least.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You have several resources to help you out there.
See, there you go. Dog and a cow. It says on
Yeah.
the back. Shows you.
You have several resources to help you out there. I would say, don't be animal abusers. My opinion. Just I wouldn't want to be, but if you guys are okay with being that, you do you. As you said, you are allowed in this world, right? It's legally allowed. Just like it was legally allowed to be a slave owner at some point, you are legally allowed to abuse animals right now. It won't always be available, but you got to think about your own morals if that's something that you want to live by.
Yeah, I get
That's
it.
it.
It's just like they seem like two different extremes to me. But yeah.
Okay, cheers. Have a good one. Hello, everyone. That was a conversation. The violence is hidden, so people, they blind their compassion. Exactly. Hey, Martin, nice to see you here. Yes, that was an interesting conversation with these two guys. They like, I don't know, the girl seemed compassionate. You guys couldn't see her on camera. The girl seemed a little bit to understand the perspective. The guy was like, I don't care. So as you saw, probably I stayed clear of him. I don't really care to interact with him too much. But yeah, she seemed to understand the perspective a little bit more than others. So yeah, who knows? That's why I wanted to give her a card in the end. Mr. Max says, good to see you out here again, Chip. Thank you, Mr. Max. You're just very pushy, says JJ. Yeah, I actually wasn't pushy. I just refused to accept any argument that anybody else says, hey, it is this way or this other way. So if they want to, if if they want to leave, that's all fine, but they can't leave mentioning an argument which they're not true, which is not true, right? I'm just clearly saying that one argument is not okay over the other. But pushy is nothing compared to what animals have to deal with. Plus that, exactly. Very well put, Sensi. I see. There's always an issue with the bike. Jesus Christ. Now today there's somebody who is looking at my bike. They're called Feats Coach. I'm curious what they have to do, what they want to do. But let's see. I'm still looking. Let me show you. My bike is. Oh, I don't think I can show you. Sorry. I want to show you that my bike is somewhere there, and some people are waiting there. You know what? Give me a second. I'll go there to see what the issue is, and I'll be back in 1 second. Let me see. Maybe I can turn this around so you guys can see me while I go do that thing. It's a little bit crooked because it was crooked. Give me 1 second. Hi, that's my bike.
Okay.
Sure, but I'm on a live stream right
So
now.
this
I
is
can't
this
really
as
move
well?
right now. Do you mind? Do you mind if I just move it afterwards?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll.
One bike?
It's just that, yeah, just the one. Yeah.
Those
one-
are the rest then?
I think some are also for the other activists, but
Okay. Well, we'll have
Please
a word with
put
them.
over there. Where
Yes.
you have
yeah.
to do it.
Okay, I'll move it afterwards. Thank you so much. There you go. That was not a parking spot where I put my bike. Shit happens. What can you do, huh? Okay. It is not illegal to not stun the animal in the UK, even for halal. That's what I read. Maybe I was. Roya, you say it's not illegal. Okay. Interesting. That's what I read, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I need to read it again, and maybe you are right. You guys want to try a social experiment? Yeah. If I ask you to move it, can you please move my bike?
Right there, of course. Where do I have to put it?
I think there, they said.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Victoria. Okay. I was looking at the poll, and it says 21% say convenience is a good enough excuse for making questionable choices. Wow, that's a pretty high poll number. I don't know how to close this poll, so I'll just end it, I guess. Okay. Mostly got his facts wrong. Yeah, we all make mistakes. That's all okay, That's what you need to understand. It's not about making mistakes. It's about correcting ourselves, improving ourselves, right? And when you're presented with the fact that you're doing something wrong, is changing and not participating in it again. That's what I would say is what makes us, better or whatever, something there. I'm a little bit all over the place today. I guess it's because I'm a little bit tired. And it's also, there's a lot of people over here. And, thank you so much, Tori. So there you go. Somebody helped me move my bike. One of the activists, Victoria, she's awesome, by the way. She always, we have some activists. I mean, if they don't want to be on camera, I can't force them to be on camera. But she wants to, she's the one who comes to almost every event. She speaks up for animals almost every time. It's super nice. It's super nice to see activists like that who are very dedicated towards to ending animal exploitation, right? Didn't look like it with the first couple I saw. What do you mean, J-ma? J-ma. You guys want to try a social experiment? That calling people abusers doesn't work well. Oh, I didn't. The thing was, I knew that it was going nowhere. That conversation. I was just being realistic with them. I was just telling them what facts are. I wasn't even trying to be hurtful in any way. I was literally telling them, and that's literally the truth. You either are vegan or you support animal abuse. There is no in between. That's zero. There's zero room in between. Zero. There's just these two. And if you think there is any sort of gray area or anything in between, you can please explain it to me, but I don't think there is. And yes, somebody who supports animal abuse is theoretically an animal abuser. Especially if they do it knowingly, right? Mark Anthony asks, what's the experiment? You'll see. Maybe we'll get some people. Please, well, not please, if you want to stick around and watch what the experiment is, we should get some people soon. I mean, there's a lot of people here, so maybe if there's too many people, it's a little bit more difficult to get people to stop. I see there's always like a middle ground between the number of people that needs to be on the street and the interactions that I get. I don't know why. If it's too many people, sometimes they don't stop. What country are you in? I can't tell no more. Anthony, I'm in Netherlands right now. I'm in Amsterdam. What you're seeing behind me, this right here, is Rijksmuseum. This it's one of the biggest museums in Amsterdam. And it's a beautiful Sunday. The weather is nice. I think it rained because it is wet. It hasn't rained while I was on a run this morning, but it is wet today, so maybe it rained as I had my breakfast and such. And yeah, it's not too cold. My feet are not cold. My hands are not cold. It's like 10 degrees outside. It's just pleasant. It's just pleasant today. It's much pleasant. Hi, you want to try a social experiment?
I would normally, but I've got to chase after this child.
Okay, sure, no worries. She would normally, but she had to chase a child. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? Okay. I saw a question. Hey Chip, what would you say if they only eat roadkill? I mean, context matters a lot, right? Like in a world where we don't exploit animals, if an animal accidentally dies and you want to eat them, it is what it is, you know. If that world were to exist, but in today's society, in current society, eating even roadkill is just another way of commodifying animals. It's just another way of seeing them as resources, and thus I would oppose it. Of course, it doesn't theoretically create more demand, it doesn't theoretically exploit more animals, it doesn't theoretically abuse or kill more animals, but, you're still commodifying them, which I would be opposed. But if you were to do the same thing for, I don't know, human beings, you accidentally run over a human being, sure, then you are at least morally consistent with it. Amsterdam is very touristy, yeah, and I'm also in an especially touristy area, so, yeah. Anthony says, I love animals, though. Anthony, if you're not vegan, then it doesn't matter if you love animals or not, because you are abusing them. It's as easy as that.
What does he mean, verwijst?
I don't speak that well.
Verwijst,
I don't know, sorry.
And then is a hit that what.
I have no clue what that means. Sorry.
The what is like a question. What is and what is news? Vragen. Of is what is stands for a question.
Maybe,
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
Good luck. Of all the people to ask about Dutch. My Dutch is not very good. Actually, I used to know it pretty well at some point, but didn't practice it. And yeah, that's what happens when you don't practice a language, a new language you try to learn. You forget it. That's what happened to French. That's what happened to Dutch. But hey, at least my English is practiced constantly. In fact, I'm actually dreaming in English. I'm not an English native speaker, by the way. So the fact that I dream in English or that my thoughts are in English a lot of the times just shows how much I use English in my day-to-day. She asked, "What is this in Dutch?" I don't think she asked that. No, she asked. She showed me a word. I forgot the word itself, but it wasn't "What is this?" but something else. Okay, we gotta get somebody. Chip, your English is excellent, says Martin. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get some people. I want to get some people to have a conversation. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? Or ignore me? You want to try a social experiment? Jerry, you want to try a social experiment?
What kind of experiment?
I just ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit.
Okay, what is the question?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Of course.
First, can you come a little bit closer here so that you're in view?
Yes, of course.
Hey, what's your name?
Anja?
Aina.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Sorry.
Where are you from?
Holland.
Holland. Nice.
Amsterdam.
Do you have any pet companions or animal companions that you're...
I have a little cat.
You have a little cat?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit something about them?
My cat?
Yeah.
It is a Russian grey one.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Do you... What boy or a girl?
Please?
Boy or a girl?
Boy.
Boy.
Sterilized.
Is there something that he likes in particular to do? Like, are there any preferences?
Sleeping. He's always sleeping.
Say it again. Oh, he's always...
He's very lazy.
Oh, he's very lazy.
Yes,
Okay.
he is. Yeah.
Does he have something that he's afraid of?
Oh, he's afraid of my neighbor.
He's afraid of your neighbor?
Yes,
Interesting.
he don't like my neighbors.
Okay.
No.
Do you know why or what?
No, I don't know why, but he is anxious because he prefer our companion.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
So you acknowledge that he has some emotions, that he feels anxiety, that
He like playing with me.
and he likes
It's a
playing
little
with you.
little ball, and
What's his
yes.
name, by the way?
Ari.
Artie.
Yes.
Artie, nice name. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So if Artie were to not be your pet companion, if they were to just be an animal somewhere else, do you think it would be fair for somebody to use them and then slaughter them
No,
for their own benefit?
it's for me only for me.
Yeah, but like, do you think that Artie in itself is an individual who does not want to be exploited or slaughtered, who has his own preferences, his own fears, his own
I
personality?
don't know.
You don't know, but
I
what
don't
have
know.
what have you noticed about him? Like, do you think he's when you think about Artie, is he like a member of the family, or is
He's
he
a member of the family.
he's a member of the family? So
Yes.
he's not like a substituent to the family. He doesn't
no,
just
no,
like a slave to the family or
Of
something.
course not.
Of course not. He's a member
not.
of the family,
He's
exactly.
a member of the family, and he behaves his. Oh, sorry for my English, but his behavior is also like us. We are not different from animals.
Exactly, we're not
So,
different from
no,
animals.
no.
Okay.
I think we are a part of the nature.
We are indeed, because we are
Yes.
also mammals. We're also animals,
Of
right?
course.
So then, how do you feel about when other people exploit animals to get benefit from it?
I hate it.
You hate it. Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that? How would you call these people that exploit animals for their own benefit?
I think I don't like it, but everybody has his own responsibility.
Yeah.
But I hope that people realize that it's not a good way.
Okay. Okay. And I'm going to ask you this one question, and
Why?
keep in mind that I used to participate in it too, so I'm not judging in any way. But do you think that when we buy animal products, when we eat cheese, milk,
Yes.
eggs, all this, we are basically supporting animal exploitation?
Of course. And that's why I only buy eggs from chickens who are free. I don't like to buy something. I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Do you consume any dairy products?
Only milk and eggs. If I know, I'm sure that's not awful way of the treatment of the animals.
So, how much do you know about what happens to dairy cows, for example, in the dairy industry?
I know it because I have seen it on the television, and I know it's. I'm sure that it's true because I saw it on
Yeah.
television. I didn't visit the farmers.
Yeah.
The- But I lived also in the country, and I saw farmers. But I also saw farmers who are very, very kind with the animals.
But let me just put it this way so that you get the other perspective, because we can see it this way. We can always see it that
Yeah.
we see these farms. I have also, if you bike outside of Amsterdam, you see cows, you see farms, you see, and
Yeah.
you don't dare to think that there's something wrong going on there, right? But like, if you think about the whole perspective of their perspective of the cows,
Yeah.
cows produce milk because they're mammals like us, so they have to have a
Of
baby,
course,
right?
Yes, I agree with that.
So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them, like literally somebody puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and inject blue semen in their vagina.
Yes, terrible.
That's terrible. And after 9 months, when the babies are born, what do you think
Yeah.
happens to them?
Yes, I think that is terrible, but that's why I only buy some eggs. Now, I know the farmer, and that's okay. But I
But even-
don't buy eggs from a farmer who has a chicken farm with thousands of chickens.
But okay, you mentioned eggs. Okay,
Yes.
so let me finish with dairy, and then I'll explain what's up with eggs. So with dairy, what happens is that babies get separated from their mothers
Yes.
because they would drink their milk, and farmers
No,
need
that's
to,
I
farmers
don't
need to sell
agree
the
with
milk.
that. I
Yeah.
don't agree with
If
that.
they're male, they get killed. If they're female, year over year forceful impregnation until they can no longer impregnate them, and that usually happens after 6 years, and then they kill them also.
Awful. That's not
And
my
they can
way
live up to
of
24
living.
years.
That's
But
not
this,
my way of
this is
living.
standard practice in small farms,
know.
large farms, all of them.
No,
so if
no,
you're
no,
buying
no.
milk, you're definitely supporting this.
Of course, but I don't drink milk, sorry for that. But only eggs, because some eggs with chickens. But I know because I have also a little house in France, and there are farmers who are not awful with their.
But you can notice that all these farmers.
But there are little, there are not much from
But
the
you won't
farmers.
see that. That's the reality, right?
No.
And farmers also live in denial because they refuse to
Yes,
accept the
yes,
idea that
yes,
what they do,
yes,
right?
yes.
But if you look, I saw this video online of how farmers do it. They
Yeah.
literally just send all their animals one way, and except for the one animal that needs to die, they put a gate
Yeah.
like this and they
Yeah.
send them another way.
Awful.
And of course, they don't all
Awful.
kill them on farms. They sometimes
Yeah,
send them to
but-
slaughter. It's awful. It is.
It's not my way of living, and it's not my way of thinking, and I don't buy things like that. So I told you, only when I'm sure that it is okay, I eat the eggs.
And let me tell you also for eggs, because for eggs,
Because-
all chickens that lay eggs are different
Yeah.
than the chickens that are grown for meat, right? They're different breeds because they were selectively bred to lay an egg every day.
Yes, I have had also chickens because I lived here not far away from Amsterdam. I have a farm. Now I live in Amsterdam, and I have had chickens.
Yeah.
And the chickens are very, very brutal also. They come also in the house, don't forget that. And I have also, what is the name in English? A cock, yes, 1 cock and 5 chickens. But the 5 chickens are very, very kind with us, and they have too much eggs for little chickens. So I prefer to eat eggs from my chickens, and they agree with us, and we agree with our chickens. So I'll give the grains, the feather, feed to feed. I feed
Yeah, you feed them. Yeah.
feed them. It was approximately.
But that's not what you do right now, right? Right now you
Yes,
buy the eggs in
because
supermarkets.
because I know the farmer, so I don't do that.
But regardless, let me explain why. Because all chickens that lay eggs,
Yes.
they come from a hatchery. In a hatchery, when a chicken hatches from an egg, there's a 50-50 chance that they're either male or female.
Oh yeah, terrible. Yes, I know,
Females, they go to
Yeah.
to small farms, large
Yes.
farms, your backyard farms, maybe your
Yes.
farms, right?
Oh no, it is,
But
no,
the male chicks, they
I
get
know,
killed
I
on their
killed.
first day of
Oh,
life.
They killed
Yeah,
the first day.
exactly.
They are check it's female or male. Yes, I know, but it's not my way of.
But regardless, every chicken that lays eggs comes from hatcheries. So every time you're paying for that, 100%.
No,
100%.
no.
100%. There's no doubt. Because
I have had chickens too.
where did you buy them from?
The chickens, I have my chickens. Of course, I bought it because my neighbor.
So they come from a hatchery.
No, because my neighbor was also a farmer. It was my
He bought
neighbor.
them from a hatchery.
I don't think so because they have their own.
If they lay so many eggs, it's because they come from a hatchery.
No, yes, of course.
Wild chickens
Of
lay
course.
12 eggs per year. 12 eggs per year.
12 eggs. My chicken
Laid one every day.
every day.
Yeah, it's very bad also for them,
It
you
was
know.
a Barnevelder, brown Barnevelder, pool chicken.
Yeah, that's also why it's so. It's also so bad for their body because
Yes,
they remove one giant egg, and a lot of the times in sanctuaries where they protect animals, they take their eggs and they smash them on the ground,
Yeah.
and chickens come pecking
Yeah.
at it and they eat
Terrible.
the nutrients back
Yes,
because
yes.
they obviously use a lot of nutrients to make
Yeah.
that egg, and one every day.
It's-
Imagine having your period every day. It's insane.
I do understand. I agree with your ideas of to be free from animals, but I have a little house in France also, and my cat is with me, so I have to watch my cat. He don't catch a little bird
Yeah.
or a mouse. I am afraid that he is playing with a mouse and he killed the mouse. So I watch the cat. He doesn't do that. But the nature of the cat is like that. So I have a problem also with my cat when he is chasing mouses and birds.
Yeah, we can't change what others do, right? We can't change what animals do. What we can change is what we choose to do. And when we choose
Yes,
to
of
buy
course.
any animal product, one animal is definitely exploited for us,
Yes.
regardless if it's a
Yes,
nice
yes,
exploitation. We can
yes.
say those chickens have a large ground,
I
but you
do
know.
agree. I'm not the right person. It's better to speak with that people.
But you say you say you drink dairy and you eat cheese, right?
Yes, but I know my farmer.
It doesn't matter because
No,
those
no.
farmers do exactly the same thing that I just mentioned. All of them forcefully
There is
impregnate them.
a big difference between the farmers.
I used to think the same as you. Trust me, I used to think the same. I said
and-
there's no way that is happening
No.
here, but it
No,
is.
But I prefer. I'm not a holy person. I prefer to live like that. Very.
But why not leave all of them out of your place?
I agree.
Why not just
I
not
agree.
eat cheese or eggs?
Yes,
It's so
okay.
much easier than no animals get exploited.
I do understand, but it is for me. It's difficult to eat my bread. I don't like sweet things, and always nuts. And is also what do you eat on your bread?
Hummus?
Yes, of course. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. I
right?
like
so
it.
Much,
I
so
like
much
it.
baba ganoush. There's so
Yes,
many
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Good.
yeah, yes,
Muhamra. There's a lot of good
yes,
things.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I eat also.
Yeah.
But that is you. I take it with. In that you have salt, you have pepper, and that's not good for my blood pressure. Too much
Salt, I say.
salt.
But you can find some that are low in salt. It doesn't like.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter because you can. What you're saying right now is that you need to. What is it that you put on bread? Cheese. The cheese is
No,
already
no,
salty.
not all. It's also salty, of course, but not so much. I'm
I mean, cheese is much saltier than a lot of hummuses. They have way more salt than a lot
Perhaps,
of hummuses.
perhaps,
But either way, like the position. Imagine if my health, if I were to say, the only way I can be healthy and picky about my food is if I exploit and slaughter other animals. That wouldn't be fair towards them. They're not responsible for my health. I'm responsible for
yeah.
my health.
I'm also.
So-
Of course, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and I think I'm. Yes, but I'm not the worst.
I'm not saying you're the worst. Of course, I don't believe there's a
no,
good or a
but
bad person.
I'll try to be to sympathize with animals. That's why I said to you, we are not different from animals.
We are not,
And
we are not,
the
yeah.
nature, but the animals are also very difficult with each other.
They are.
They are.
But
Yeah.
there's people who are difficult with each other also, right? We
Also.
can't justify doing whatever we want to them because there's others who are horrible to
Yeah.
each other, right?
Yeah.
Like we have a responsibility to know better, to act better,
Yeah.
because we know what morality is. We
I
created
think,
this.
yes, but I think we are very bad also. So I'm on my way to the exposition of Marianne Kahn. You saw the exposition?
I have not. No.
No? No. That is, I think it is very important for you to visit the exposition in the Stedelijk Museum.
Okay, I'll do
It
that.
is-
I like Stedelijk Museum.
Yes, now, Mirjam Kahn, she has an exposition about the cruel things of people.
Oh, interesting.
So, yes, so, you, I have, there's a picture also, I don't know, no, that's not a picture.
No.
But this is
Yeah,
the
Miriam
name.
Khan. Yeah.
Reading
I went to
dust.
the Marina Abramovic when she was.
Okay,
that was
okay,
good,
that's the
but
other
type. Yeah.
Yes, but it's other exposition and other ideas. She agree with your ideas.
Yeah.
The cruelty of the people, war, behavior, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, just
I'm
keep
on
in
my
mind
way.
that it all starts with us, right? So that means that we as individuals have a responsibility. So that
Of course.
I know you may think that
Yes.
when you're buying from a farmer, it is the animals are okay, but keep in
No,
mind that they are
I-
still exploited
of
and
course,
slaughtered.
of course, but not on the way the most worst farms do.
Maybe, but
And so, now there is a difference
listen,
between
if enslaving somebody, even if you give them a good life and you enslave them, it's still slavery.
it's still slavery. I
Exactly,
agree
it's
with
the
you.
same.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think there's a difference in behavior in farmers also.
There is, but all the farmers that farm animals, their incentive
Yeah, yes,
is to
yes,
get
of
whatever
course.
they want out
Of
of
course,
them.
of
They
course.
see them as resources.
Yes.
Some of them even cry when they send them to the slaughter because they get attached to the animals. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that what they do is immoral. What they do is not immoral. It's still immoral. It's
Yes.
still bad
Yes,
that they
yes,
do this.
yes,
I don't think
yes.
farming animals should be a thing ever.
Of course, you are right in a way, but
We shouldn't farm humans also. You said we're the same, right? So therefore,
yes, we are the same. Yes,
farming
no.
humans can never be justified, regardless of how good conditions we give them. So we
No.
can't farm animals also in the same reason, right?
No, but sorry for that, but I am on a minimal. I am on a minimal way in my behavior for to do good to the animals. But I like to do good also with people. But I am in original.
Appreciate it.
I am a nurse in my profession in earlier life. Now I'm 80 years old, so I'm an old woman, sorry. But now I'm going to my friends
Okay, I'll
to visit.
I'll let you go.
My,
Just can I ask you just two more questions? One, do you know what being vegan means?
of course,
Can you tell me what is in your own words?
vegan, no products of animal.
Yeah, that's a consequence of it. Being
Yeah.
vegan literally means
Yes,
no
not-
animal exploitation.
No
It's
animal.
like being anti-slavery,
I know,
but for
I know,
animals.
I know,
right?
I know, yeah.
So it kind of sounds to me like you align with that definition. It's just that you sometimes you say you consume like some eggs and some dairy,
Yeah.
and I think even if the farmer can look good and they'll tell you that it's good, you know, erring on the safe side would always mean never consuming those products because you don't know what happens to those animals in the end. You don't know that they're not killed. Like farmers,
No,
who have chickens, like even free-range chickens, they kill them when they can no longer lay an egg
Yeah,
every day.
I know.
Like
yeah.
it's there,
Yes, yes,
there's so much
yes,
exploitation in
yes.
all direction that we don't.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
now I have to go on my way because my friends are waiting
That's
for
okay.
me.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping here, and
Thank you for your.
please no more exploitation. Okay.
Of course, no minimal. No, I'm not.
Not minimal,
I'm
none,
I'm
none.
not a holy person.
I know, but you can
Uh,
always choose to never exploit an animal.
No. Of course.
Okay.
No, but
You
I
have
think
that choice.
Yes, I have that choice. I know it very well. So I go on my way now.
Okay,
Have
thank
a
you so
nice
much.
day, and I hope you find somebody who is very more.
But you also need to not exploit animals. Keep that in mind, okay?
Of course.
Especially
of course.
because you're open-minded to the idea.
I'm
Especially
very
because you
open-minded. I am
understand.
open-minded.
We have more of a responsibility when we're this way.
Of course.
Because
of
that's how we
course.
drive change, by
Yes.
showing others that we can change.
I'll do that.
Free Palestine.
Sure.
Friends.
No, I don't know who they Bye, have a good one. Interesting conversations. I don't know if she got it. I think she was very much stuck in that whole I buy from farmer stuff.
Chip,
Hello.
are you in the middle of a live stream?
Yes.
Our friend Chip here.
These are the other activists, everybody.
So this guy here had a birthday.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
For December.
And we've got a present for you.
Oh, dear. Thank you so much. Okay, can you keep this?
Yeah,
I'll let this
absolutely,
open.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's nice.
'Cause,
It's interesting that you come and do it now when it's live. Huh?
Yeah, because also I want to say to the audience is Chip is really an awesome person.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
off camera,
Yeah.
he's got like brains. He's got a lot of muscles, but also he's got a heart, and he's a really cool guy.
All these people with hearts.
And we're very lucky to
you
have him
so
as
much.
friends. So I hope
that's so
you.
cool.
Do you?
I have not read. I have
Oh,
read
okay.
*Sapiens*. I also read the one afterwards, but I haven't read this one.
Show it to your.
Yeah, show everybody at home what you got.
I got a book.
From
I got a
Yuval
book.
Harari, and he's a vegan as well. Harari,
Is he vegan?
He is
oh,
vegan.
that's
Yeah, he is.
awesome.
and I think he's one of the best modern day philosophers.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I'm a machine learning engineer, and this one is about AI as well. And I've heard him talk about AI, and every time a non-AI guy talks about AI, I get irritated because I'm an AI guy, and they mess it up. But this guy didn't mess it up, and in fact, he made good points that made me think about AI.
Oh, interesting.
So Harari is, I think this should be a very awesome read.
Oh my God! Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read it because all his books, when I read them, they were all so easily to read, and so like I just sifted through them, and it's so interesting. So.
You
Oh,
can
this is
use
him.
it.
Afterwards, borrow it to me because I also want to read it.
Oh, you didn't read
Of
it
course,
in front.
of course.
Hey, well, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cyprian. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a nice live stream.
Yeah, thank you. I'll come back. We'll chat after this. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I mean, Axel, yeah, these are very cool friends. Sorry, I'm just putting the book back. Give me a second. Uh, these are my awesome activist friends. I love them. See, everybody, that's why you should join an activism groups. That's why come to activism groups. You see, this is what happens. You make friends like this. You make friends where you realize that you share values so much. The guy who was talking, Lodewijk, is a friend. You know, we met at once in an activism group, and we didn't really talk much. But at some point, we said, "Hey, let's meet and just chat about something." And we came and started chatting about philosophy, and we realized that we're so much alike. You know, so yeah, people go out there, do the activism. This is what happens. You meet people who you align with ideologically, and you end up having awesome conversations and close friendships and such, so it's definitely worth it. True, the best friends I ever made was in activism. The bond is unmatched, being a part of something greater than ourselves. Exactly, Dirk. Sorry, Maria said. Exactly, Maria. How many animals are killed just so soya beans can be grown for their vegan latte coffees? Would you be surprised that most of the soya beans that you claim kills animals is grown for the animals as animal feed? Jema. And we're here rejecting animal exploitation, not the killing. Although killing is also, when it's intentional, it is exploitative, so we reject that also. But being vegan is an opposition to animal exploitation. Stephen Averse says crop deaths, though. Yeah, this is a very much a crop deaths argument. The funny thing is, everybody who's on stream, you know, who's not vegan and who's watching this, the funny thing is every argument that you can come up with, you can easily Google it or use ChatGPT or whatever it is that you want and find out that that argument is not good enough and it doesn't stand a chance. But it's so funny that yet people still come, they still throw arguments out there. To the amount of information that we have lying out there, I guess maybe there's just too much information, but we still have so much information that, and people still come up with these ridiculous arguments. It's insane. We tried asking about exploitation without using slaughter. For example, instead of, do you think it's fair to use them and slaughter them, do you think it's fair to use them? Vegan Animal Defender, I can try that, but you'll see that it doesn't necessarily always go well, because I think people don't have a problem using animals a lot of the times. They have a problem with the slaughter of animals. They have a problem with the gruesome part of it. And it's kind of the entry point towards understanding that perspective, because if you're brought up in an existence where you see animals as inferior and you don't really see a problem with using them because they're inferior, then you don't really have a problem with their usage. You just have a problem with the gruesomeness of it. That's how I believe. That's kind of what that's kind of what we all, the rite of passage that we all went through, right? You want to try a social experiment? That's kind of the rite of passage that we all went through, where we believed one thing and somebody came and told us another thing. Well, right, because we initially believed that it's gruesome, it's bad what's happening to them, but then you learn that it's actually about exploitation, and using them is already inherently bad. That's what I meant. YouTube, you want to try my social experiment? Just ask you some questions, that's it.
Ask her in the pink top, she'd love me to.
You want to try a social experiment?
Yes, she'd love to. You're in the pink top? I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. Sometimes people stop, sometimes people don't stop. You want to try a social experiment? And by the way, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. You know, when I do activism and I have the chat open and I get to look around and see people discussing, people, I don't know, just telling me, discussing it with me, discussing in the chat, it just, I don't feel alone. And a lot of the times when I do activism, I do feel alone, even if today wouldn't be the case, because I am with an activism group, as you saw. But yeah. See if we can get some more people, because it seems like there's a lot of people, but not a lot of people are stopping, which is kind of insane. Axel says very minimal layers of warmth. I actually have one blouse, on top of that, and my jacket. And my jacket is pretty thick. You guys want to try a social experiment? I'm a bit dehydrated, but I won't drink water. I refuse to drink water because then I gotta go to the bathroom at some point, and I want to keep this as long as I can. Especially because we haven't talked to so many people today. What was it? Only 2 people? You wanna try it? You guys wanna try a social experiment? You guys want to try a social experiment? It's just a lot of people from all directions. We're lucky to have you, Chip, says Linda. Thank you, Linda. I'm actually lucky to have you too. It's nice to. The vegan community is very nice. That's why when we fight and we divide over nonsense, it's a little bit painful because I know the potential that we have. I know what we can do, and it's a pity that we get into these ridiculousness and we waste our energy with fights when we should be out there speaking for animals, trying to make changes, and not just how I do it on the street and talking to people. There's so many ways to do activism, and it's so important that we do all forms of activism. Exactly, Axel. We are lucky to have each other. Would you like to try a social experiment? You want to try a social experiment? You want to try a social experiment? Okay. You never know what to expect, huh? Sometimes there's just a lot of people and nobody stops. It's kind of sad. You guys want to try a social experiment? Just ask you some questions, get you to think. The crop deaths argument is irrelevant to veganism. It doesn't address vegan animals as resources or slaves. It is an issue, but not a vegan issue. Veganism is about the use of animals, not crops. That's... Sure, I'll agree. I won't go into much into details, but to some extent, yes. You guys want to try a social experiment? Oh, DJ Cat is here. Nice to see you, DJ Cat. Hi, would you like to try a social experiment? It's kind of... Maybe we need to move. I'll give it 5 minutes. If we don't get anybody, we're moving. DJ Cat says getting cold again over there. Back to beach weather here. Oh, DJ Cat, you're in Australia, I'm guessing, in the southern hemisphere. It is not that cold today. It's actually like 10 degrees Celsius. It's quite nice. It's much better than than how it was 2 days ago when it was like 0. So it's very much doable today. It's even a little bit, dare I say, pleasant. Sorry, a bit tired. Still looking at the clock. Yeah, Australia. You guys remind me of my purpose, to keep fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. Exactly, Axel. Very important. You guys want to try a social experiment? What's your take on lab meat? Asks Janet. You know, it's a very difficult thing to say. Personally, if it does not exploit any animals, whatever, for it, against it, neutral to it, basically. If it does, then yeah, obviously against it. It's starting to rain a little bit. You guys want to try a social experiment? Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Okay.
What's your name?
Only Netherlands.
Say it again.
Only Netherlands. The channel, TV channel.
No, it's English actually.
English. Okay.
What's your name?
Joanna.
Joanna, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
Greece.
Greece, nice. Okay, I'm just going to turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
No.
No. Why not?
Should be legal.
Yeah.
Animal abuse. Okay. Because my English is not good. Because they're creatures. They are. We must know. Be against nature, generally. Animals, plants, everything.
Okay, so if animals abuse each other in nature, can we abuse them?
No, nature is wise by itself.
Okay. So is that the only reason why it's wrong to abuse animals? Because these animals, like cats or dogs, are not part of nature, right? They're animals we selectively bred, so...
But we don't create them.
Oh, we do. That's what breeders do, right? They literally forcefully impregnate dogs or cats, and then they get their babies and sell them to others.
We don't create them, so we don't have a right on them.
So it's wrong to abuse them because we don't have any right over their life or their...
Because abuse anything is wrong, is bad.
Okay. How would you define abuse?
Feeling pain, mentally or physically.
Okay, I like that, okay. And so it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs? What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Abusing. When we get life from something, from a creature, we don't have a right to feel. They feel pain. They don't have to feel pain.
They don't have to feel pain, yes.
Yes.
Do cows, chickens, and pigs feel pain?
No.
They don't feel pain?
Oh yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. So then abusing them is wrong.
Of course.
So do you think when we buy animal products, we are inherently supporting some form of abuse?
In some way.
Do you consume any animal products? I'm not judging, by the way.
Yes, I'm trying not to.
You're trying not to?
Yes.
Okay. So then you recognize that when you buy an animal product, you are supporting animal abuse?
Yes, of course.
Of course. Okay. So what is keeping you from never supporting that again?
Trying to use vegan products,
Yeah.
not
Wh-
to.
What does being vegan mean to you?
When they making a product, use vegan ways and materials.
Yeah, but what does that mean, vegan ways? What does that mean?
Not to use products made by animals.
Yeah. So veganism means rejecting the exploitation of animals. It means saying animals should not be used, they should not be enslaved, they should not be exploited, slaughtered, any of it, right? And that as a consequence, that means we don't eat their flesh, we don't eat their secretions, we don't wear their skin,
Yes,
all of this
and
stuff,
all
right?
of
And
it.
we don't entertain it. Do you align morally with that definition? Where you
What? Excuse me?
do you align morally with the idea of not exploiting animals?
I didn't understand that question.
That's okay. So, do you think that animals should not be exploited?
Should not be
Exploited.
killing, you know.
Exploitation. So, exploitation means that not just killing, but using them as resources, seeing them as objects.
Yes,
So, do you think animals should not be seen that way, right?
of course.
So, do you think?
I have to
I'll just give you
No.
two more questions.
Okay.
So, do you think that if you continue buying an animal product, even if you do it once per year, you are still perpetuating this idea that animals are objects?
Again, please.
Yeah. So,
Repeat it, please.
even if you buy one animal product per year, you are
Yes.
still supporting this idea that animals are objects, right?
In a small amount, yes.
In a small amount.
Yes.
But even in a small amount, if somebody if somebody beats their wife in a small amount, beats their
Beat-
wife.
yeah.
They're still beating their wife, right? Of course, it's better if they beat their wife once a year rather than every day, but they're still beating their wife,
Of course.
right? So, if you're supporting animal exploitation, you're still supporting animal exploitation. So it's bad regardless if you do it once a year or every day,
Yes.
right? So, do you ever see yourself as stopping, as never ever exploiting an animal again?
Myself, if I'm trying to do this,
Yeah.
I'm trying, but I don't manage, of course.
Where is it that you're having difficulty?
Get that many products I buy are from animals.
So why not buy something else?
I can find anything I want where I live.
So does that justify exploiting them?
If I could find products vegan, for example, I could buy only these products.
But you can find vegan products in Greece, right? You can find pasta, rice,
Yes,
beans, lentils.
but not only this. And I don't have this quantity I want, so I can choose what I want to buy.
But does that
Understand?
matter? Yeah. Like, if the only products you found in supermarkets were to be exploiting women, would you still continue doing it, or would you say no? I'll choose the ones that don't exploit
Yes, I
women?
understand. Not only food, but anything with.
Yeah, everything, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the victims, right? We can say we don't have enough products to choose from, but it doesn't matter as long as we have enough products that we need.
Yes, I know. I understand.
Because otherwise, if we just say, "Hey, I need choice," the sheer fact of saying an animal needs to be exploited so that I can have choice is kind of ridiculous, right?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, how many more animals should be exploited for you before you make this change?
I can't.
How many do you want to be exploited for you before you change?
I don't want anyone, but
That means you gotta go vegan. There's only one way.
yes.
Otherwise, more
But
animals
only
get exploited.
eating vegan.
Eating, wearing, all of it.
everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Maybe that's a trap.
Let me give you some resources to help you out with that. So, Challenge 22, they hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day for free. They help you go vegan. All of it is free. You just gotta want it, okay?
Thanks.
You have also other resources that you can watch. There's a video there called Dominion. If you go on this website and type in this code or scan this, there's a thing there called Dominion. If you want to see what animals go through, it's a very nice video to watch, okay?
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What was your name again? Ioana, you said, right?
Ioana.
Ioana. Nice to meet you, Ioana, and have a good day. Nice and a nice vegan life. No more animals exploited. Yeah. That was a conversation. Not the best. I don't know what to say. She didn't really understand very well English, so it was kind of difficult. Sometimes that happens. Language barriers will be language barriers at the end of the day, right? Thank you so much, everybody who's here. Remember to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Maybe you like what you're hearing. Maybe you like the conversations. Hey, maybe you even like the randomness of doing it live. I was not expecting that my friends would just come and sing happy birthday to me while I'm live. But hey, that was one thing that was interesting. I'm curious if they planned it, because like I met them before. One of them already gave me a gift, so I'm like, what's going on? You guys want to try a social experiment? Yeah, come on, do it. You guys want to try a social experiment?
Yeah, sure.
Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. I'll just turn this around and you tell me what you think. It says animal abuse should be legal.
No,
Why not?
because animal rights are, quite important.
Why are animal rights important?
Because they are also living things,
Okay.
aren't they?
Is it just because they're living, or is there anything else to it?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much because they are living.
And because they have emotions or stuff like that, feelings?
No, it says they feel less, but in general, we shouldn't cause more suffering.
Okay. Okay. How would you define abuse?
Abuse, causing physical harm to someone.
Or
something.
emotional, right?
Emotional. Can animals feel emotional? But sure, yeah.
I mean, animals have emotions, so therefore they can feel emotions, yes.
Yeah, sure. Let's say yes.
I mean, do you not believe that animals have emotions?
I mean, they do, but they don't have as much as people do.
How would you know that? How would you know that you have as many emotions as I do?
I know that because I'm a biology student. I know that animals have less neurons and therefore less brain capacity to feel and think. So
But they still feel like positive and negative
Yes,
balance
of course,
emotions,
of
right?
course,
Like
of course.
happiness, sadness.
Yeah, but most of those emotions are caused from physical things such as undereating and whatever.
Not necessarily. Animals feel love also,
Yeah.
right? They want attachment also to others.
Yeah, but separation anxiety, I feel like that's not that harsh of a thing.
I mean, animals suffer from anxiety also, right? Hence why there's so many animals who have anxiety,
Yeah.
like pets especially. But anyway, so it's wrong to abuse cats or dogs. What about cows, chickens, pigs?
Yeah, that should be also illegal.
Should be also illegal, right?
Yeah, it is, I'm pretty sure, actually.
I mean, it's not illegal to. What would you, based on your definition, killing them would also be abusive, right?
No, because we kill them with humane methods. It's pretty much instant, they don't feel anything.
Do you know what the word humane means?
Yes, something which doesn't violate our human ethics.
It means with compassion and benevolence. Do you think it's a compassionate or benevolent way to kill an animal when they don't want to die?
How do we know if they don't want to die?
I mean, you said you're a biology. You should know that they don't want to die. Do you think they want to die? Do you think the fact that they run away doesn't mean that they don't want to die?
Yes, but once again,
Because they're sentient. That's why they don't want to die. Because they have a subjective experience, like you do, like I do.
yes.
So does that mean that they want to die? Just
No, they don't.
they don't, right? So if they don't want to die, how is it what's a good way of killing them?
Yep, the same way as we do instantly and without pain.
Is that a good way of killing your friend?
Yes,
Or something that is optional?
optional.
Yeah. We don't need any animal products.
I agree with that. I think we should really cut down on animal products.
Well, cutting down would still mean using and exploiting and killing animals.
I mean, I only care about methane emissions that the animals produce. And yeah, I think that in general conditions that we treat them in are already kind of hellish, so it can be considered a mercy kill.
The conditions that they're in farms is hellish, so we should mercy kill them. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. But shouldn't we just not bring them into existence in the first place if the conditions are hellish, as you say?
Yeah. I think we should really cool the population of the animals right now because current ecosystem really can't support them if we release them. So yeah, cooling the population is the only ethical way to deal with that.
Do you consume any animal products?
I try not to.
But do you consume any animal products?
Yeah, when no one buys them, they will go to they will go to rot if I won't buy them. So why not?
Because you're still supporting, you're still creating the demand for it.
You can say so, but it's.
Do you think animals are resources for us to use?
I think that they are not valuable enough to count as a resource. In older ages, sure, but in our time, no.
So how do you see animals? Do you see them as objects for us to use however we please, or do you see them as individuals who just live by us?
Definitely not individuals. I think in
Why
between
definitely
somewhere.
not individuals?
Because as I told, that they aren't as conscious and sentient as we are.
There's no gradient to consciousness and sentience. Sentience literally just means a subjective experience and having emotions. Animals have that. I couldn't know that you're less or more consciousness than I am by that matter, right? Does that mean that I get to do whatever I want to you because you're less conscious than me?
No, because we factually know that they are less mentally capable than us humans.
So if we find a human who has the mental capacity of an animal, like an intellectually challenged human, should we be able to do whatever we do to animals to do to them?
No, because he's a human.
So what exactly is the difference? Is it just a species?
Yes, I guess you could say so.
So is that not an arbitrary, is that not kind of a lazy argument of saying everybody who's within my group of species deserves to live and should not be exploited or abused, but everybody who's outside of my group can be be done that onto them?
Ugh. That's a bit iffy, but
Well, you don't have any other difference. You seem to think the only difference is the group that they belong to the same group as
the
you.
only difference is factual proof that animals are less capable mentally than people.
There's a lot of people who are that the mental capacities of animals and humans, they intertwine at some point. There's a lot of human beings who have the mental capacities of animals.
Yeah, but the fact that those people who have mental capacities, they have it degraded for one reason or the other, but an animal can't have a mental capacity of a human.
Who cares? That human being has a mental capacity of an animal. Therefore, according to you, they can be exploited and used because they're inferior, right?
No, they had once a capacity of a human, but it has degraded. Therefore, it's
Why they had it? No, there's people who literally never grow up after the age of 3, they never develop mentally after the age of 3. And there's pigs who are just as intelligent as a 3-year-old.
The issue is here that those people are, they are an edge case, they are an exception, and they still have others.
That's fine. They can be an edge case. We can still reproduce them if they're edge cases, just like we do to animals. They are genetically an edge case. We reproduce them genetically. We get more of them. Why shouldn't we do that to them?
To who?
To the mentally challenged, to the intellectually challenged.
I really... Can you repeat, please? I will catch it.
So you're saying that animals are inferior to us, right?
Yes.
So I'm saying humans who are intellectually challenged are also inferior in your worldview.
No, because they have family members.
What if they don't have family? All their family died. They're inferior.
They're still humans.
So again, everybody else who's outside of your group is inferior, except the one who's in your group.
Yeah, I kind of hate to agree to a fascist argument, but sure.
I mean, it is a fascist argument. Thank you for noticing it. At least you noticed that.
Yeah.
But so then there is no logic to this argument. There is just this fascist argument. So do you still want to go by it, or do you want to change?
We are, in fact, so much different than them. I think it's too wide of a difference to really speak about.
What is that difference that justifies the difference in treatment?
I mean, mental capacity of normal.
Again, with mental capacity,
we
we equate about it. Who cares about normal? Who cares about it? Maybe the mental capacity of a normal pig is far greater than the mental capacity of a dog. Yet you don't kill dogs, you don't use them, you don't see them as resources, do you? If you would have a dog, you would see them as a member of your family.
Yeah, and some people have pigs as member of the family.
Yeah, but how do you see them?
Pigs depends on the situation.
Depends on the situation.
Yes.
So, but you still see them as inferior.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have a pet?
Yes,
Well, what do you have?
a cat.
A cat. Do you see them as inferior?
Yes.
Okay. So do you treat them as inferiors?
No, I treat them with love.
You treat them with love. Okay. So why do you think they deserve love but other animals don't?
Because, well, that's my pet. I domesticated it, integrated into, let's say, social sphere, as small as it is.
So you own them. You own this innocent sentient being, and because you own them, you therefore you choose that you don't want to do anything that you want to them. But any other animal that you do not own is fair game, and you can do whatever you want to them because you have power over them.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
Yeah, sorry, I have to go.
So ridiculous. Well, at least you realize that it's a fascist argument. Benji says mommy is calling. Yeah, Benji, exactly. You guys want to try a social experiment? Run. Funny as this is, this guy's really thinking hard trying to find excuses. And that's the thing, right? That's what I noticed is that, hey, you want to try a social experiment? That's what I noticed is that when people try to find excuses, they end up in this corner where they can't really justify what they're saying, but they're still continuing to say it, because they have to save face. How dare they explain or say that they're wrong? How dare they show, I don't think remorse is the word, but this idea that they might be wrong. How dare they that their idea, that something that they've been doing for so long, it's wrong. Like, listen, people, don't be afraid to be wrong. That's okay. We can all be wrong. I was wrong, right? Today on this stream, something was said and apparently I was wrong. Oh yeah, the fact that animals, that halal slaughter is not banned in UK. I might be wrong about that. There you go. I can accept being wrong. Please accept that the fact that you can't be wrong. Something you might be doing is wrong. That's one part of it. And the second part of it is, hey, if you can't change, especially when there's victims, fucking change. If there's no victims involved and you want to be on the wrong side, you do what you want to do. I don't really care. What matters is the victims. That's what matters. Conquistador says, nah, I'm good. Nah, you're good as in you're good being an animal abuser, an animal oppressor. Is that, you're good with that? We learn by our mistakes, says Daniel Barber. Exactly, we learn. That's how we do it. There's no other way. Dave says you confront them with their own cognitive dissonance. The saddest part about it is, a lot of these people, they hit a wall, but they don't even realize that they hit a wall, I'm guessing these kids will have realized at some point that they have hit a wall in this conversation, because he already saw it as a fascist argument, but who knows, maybe he'll look into it and try to prove me wrong, but, that's just it, Is Vegan Animal Defender here? I'm curious. What do you think of, what would you say to a person who sees animals as inferior, regardless, who just solely, as you saw, admitted to a fascist argument, but still continued by it? What can you say to these people? Oh my God, the whole taxes argument. Please, for crying out loud, Jema, just Google your arguments. Stop with your, oh my God. You pay taxes, therefore you are supporting this other thing. I have to pay taxes. I cannot choose not to pay taxes. And I reject every time there's something I disagree with, I go out there and protest because that's what I need to do. That's what I can do when there's something that I disagree with. If you disagree with how animals are exploited and slaughtered for you, you can change. That's it. But the problem is that you don't disagree. That's the problem, you see? You want to try a social experiment? You try a social experiment? I just ask you some questions, that's it. Okay. Dave says I think one of the most difficult things, one of the most difficult things about cognitive dissonance is that it's mostly invisible to the individual. Exactly. Linda says chip streams are live. Thank you, Linda. I believe when a person is defensive, they are closer to change than someone who is completely apathetic. Exactly. Apathy is such an awful thing, isn't it? Apathy is like, I guess it's cognitive dissonance winning over you. By the way, everyone, if you're not subscribed already, come on, subscribe. What are you doing? Just let's get those numbers up a little bit. We want to measure.
Oh, hi.
You want to try this social experiment? She just. Oh, hi. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people, and not a lot of people are stopping, which is insane. Let's see. Let's focus. Subscribe, meanwhile, and like this video, everybody. Like. You want to try a social experiment?
Hi, yeah.
Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure. I look rough today, but it's
Oh, you look great. What do you mean?
Okay.
What's your name?
Andrea.
Nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
Nice to meet you. I'm Italian.
Italian. Okay.
I've always watched these videos on Instagram.
Okay. So, what's your take on oppression?
My take on oppression?
Yeah. Are you for it? Are you against it?
I mean, I'm against it.
Okay.
Like, it depends, though, the context that we're looking at.
Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
No, but I think that the powerful are kind of used to kind of create guidelines for those that, maybe that we could say are a bit more powerless.
So then they have an obligation to never abuse the powerless.
Yeah, you can say it like that.
I mean, there's only two ways. They either have the right or an obligation to not do it, right?
Well, they have, if we're looking correctly, they have an obligation to not do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Even if they get some form of benefit from oppressing them,
Yeah, they shouldn't do it.
they shouldn't do it. And even if the oppressed individuals don't realize that they're oppressed,
Oppressed individuals are oppressed. Wait, what's the question? You think that the oppressed individuals don't realize they're oppressed?
let's say if the oppressed individuals don't realize that they're oppressed,
Yeah.
should the powerful have the right to oppress them?
No.
No. Okay. So it would still be wrong to oppress them.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
So do you think we're oppressing animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Definitely. Yes.
So I'm not judging here. Are you participating in this? Are you buying any animal products?
I do consume animal products. I'm trying to less and less, remove it from my diet. So I've really cut down how much I do eat. But sadly, yeah, I still consume like chicken, maybe eggs.
Do you think you can maintain your status about being against oppression when at the same time you support it by paying for oppression? And you can always choose something else?
I mean, definitely, yeah.
I mean, you can say that, but your actions would say otherwise, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is something that slowly I'm gravitating towards, but since it's something that had so ingrained in my habits, and like I grew up, like everyone kind of grew up with the idea of like a perfect diet, of having to eat these certain proteins, and like historically looking that we need to consume animals for our health. I think that at first, for me, that was kind of the reasoning to why I eat animals, but now as I'm more informed, and I see that we can, let's say, survive with other alternatives
thrive,
that are
yeah.
plant-based or, even like beyond meat, like imitations of meat, like I'm slowly heading towards that direction. I think
Okay.
it's also education. Like we also need to be a little bit more open about it, talk about these things a little bit more commonly because I feel like this is something that people are aware of, but they don't really know how bad the situation is. So we fall into this all the time.
So I'm going to ask you, how do you see animals? Do you think animals are on this earth with us or are they for us?
No, they're on this earth with us.
They're with
Yeah.
us, right? So they don't necessarily have a purpose to serve us, or for us to use them however we please, and then kill them or do whatever we want to them. Do you think they're mere resources, or do you think they're individuals who wanna live or do whatever they want to do?
I mean, in the present day, I think
I
that
mean, not what is happening. I'm questioning how you see them.
I'm like today, as I see them, I see that they're here with us. We don't
Yeah.
really need them as resources.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say today.
Do you think that's a contradiction when you buy an animal product? You are inherently objectifying that animal. You are treating them as a resource because
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the dairy industry, for example?
No.
I just want to let you this, and I'll let
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so I see you being a bit uncomfortable. I don't want
No,
to force it.
it's like a lot for me to think of this
I know.
morning.
So that's okay. I appreciate you talking to me.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so why do cows produce milk?
To feed to their calves.
Exactly.
Feed their children.
Yeah, so farmers across the board on all farms, small farms, large farms, farmers forcefully impregnate them.
Uh-huh.
The procedure most of the time goes like somebody puts their hands in their anus to hold their cervix and then injectable semen in their vagina. My sister is a veterinarian. She did it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's horrible. When the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
Well, I'm gonna assume the worst, so that they get killed.
Well, the first thing is they get separated from their mother because they would drink their mother's milk.
Yeah.
And the farmers have to sell the milk, so
Yeah.
they can't drink their milk. If the baby is male, they don't produce milk, so yes, they get killed.
Oh my gosh.
If the baby is female, year-over-year forceful impregnation, having their baby stolen from them year-over-year, until like 6 times. So after 6 years, they can no longer impregnate them with yeast because they're called spent. They're literally called them spent because, which is fucked up if you ask me already. And then they all get killed because keeping them alive for another year would imply feeding them, and it's just not profitable for them. It's making money. It's treating them as resources. And they can live up to 25 years, so they don't live even a quarter of their life, and it's just exploitative and slaughter at the end. Do you think that's treating them as objects?
Yeah.
And this is for milk, for cheese, for like it gets even worse for eggs, for all other stuff.
Yeah, it's horrifying industry, it sounds.
Okay, so how many more animals do you want to go through this before you change, for you?
Well, I mean, as of now, the only animal product that I consume is chicken. I don't drink milk. I don't really consume cheese.
Yeah, well, chickens, what age do you think chickens get killed at? They can live up to 10 years.
I know, they get killed also like when they're babies for
40
eggs.
days.
Literally. Yeah, it's a good thing to reflect on to, accelerate that change. I'm
Yeah.
definitely working towards that, and I think with like kind of these things brought to light, I think that's definitely encouraging.
Do you know what
people to
being
do that.
vegan means?
Being vegan, that you don't consume any animal products, or you don't even wear animal.
So that's a consequence of it. Being vegan literally just means acknowledging that animals are not here for us. It means that we respect animals as individuals as they are, and that obviously inherently means we're not gonna eat them, kill them, or use them however we please, right? Because we respect their integrity, their body autonomy. So do you align with this definition, with the idea of not using animals for us?
I mean, I'm definitely headed towards that. Like,
Yeah.
as of now, I can see in my life that I'm not really aligned 100% towards,
Like your
to it.
actions aren't, but morally?
Exactly, but morally, yes. And I think, like, morally, the more I become aware and the more that I'm agreeing with this concept, the more that I'm headed towards that direction.
And I appreciate you being honest with me. I just want to let you know that there is a sense of urgency in this whole idea, right? Because when you buy that one animal product, even if you do it once a year or that one time, one animal will be exploited and slaughtered for you. And for them, it's their whole life. For you, it's a choice that you forget about in a week or so. It means nothing to you. Whereas to them, it means their whole life of exploitation and slaughter, right? So
Yeah.
you could always choose otherwise. So while you're not vegan, you will continue to do this. You will continue to be supporting this industry, continue to be exploiting animals. So if you don't want that to happen, go plant-based meanwhile, and then decide for your own. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, can I give you some resources to help you with that?
Sure.
Okay, I appreciate it. I would recommend you watch Dominion if you want to see what happens to animals on this on there. And Challenge 22, they hook you up with a nutritionist, send you vegan recipes every day for free. They just want to change you, help you change, and It's all for the animals, okay?
Yeah, thank you. This is really nice.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with me.
Yeah,
And,
thank you for your time as well.
I'm speaking for them, okay? So let's.
Yeah, keep it up. I think it's a great thing that you're doing.
You can also speak up for them.
Definitely.
Right? Don't just.
I'll be more informed and then start speaking.
Hell yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Have a good
luck
one.
with.
Bye. Yeah, I felt like she was already going in the right direction, and I didn't think like I don't know if I should have pushed her more or not. Honestly, I don't know with her. I don't know if I should have pushed her more or not. Her Italian accent popped out as she got more comfortable, says Axel. Did it? I didn't notice. There's this annoying rain, everybody. It's hard to explain just how annoying this rain is. Like it's very, very small drops. It's like walking through a cloud. There's like my sign is already wet, and it hasn't actually rained. It's just shitty Dutch weather. That's what it is. Now, informing her on the industry is what she need, I think. Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, is tell her about the dairy industry. And I think, like, the story of the dairy industry is such a good story and such a convincing one. A lot of the times it's what got me to go vegan, hence why I tell it so well. But I think I should learn also about eggs and all these other animal products that we use, maybe even leather, just to throw in that it's not about food, so that they kind of understand the perspective. I think it's important that I learn how to mention all of these practices. And it's not about, because it's not necessarily about the practices, but the practices do give some perspective to what it is that we're supporting, right? Because as you have seen today, a lot of the people don't really have a problem with supporting the killing of animals. They see it as, animals die in the wild, therefore we can kill others. It's only normal. Killing is part of life. That's kind of how people see it. It's kind of disingenuous if you think about it, because the killing isn't part of life, right? Dying is, but killing isn't. And even if it were part of life, it doesn't mean we have to do it. It doesn't mean we have to participate in it. It's a bit disingenuous, It's another excuse to continue doing it. You want to try a social experiment? Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Anyway, where do rights, animal or human, come from? I mean, I don't know. Are you talking about the legal rights or the inherent moral rights that we have? You guys want to try a social experiment?
Hello there.
Hi, are you okay being live on my YouTube channel? Where are you from?
France.
France. Okay. Do you have any pets or animal companions?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about them?
I got a dog, which my parents get since February, that they took on the refugee, and we get also a little cat that she's 10 years old.
Okay.
We rescue.
What are their names?
Lulu for the cat and Malcolm for the dog.
Lulu and Malcolm. Okay. Do you think that Lulu or Malcolm have certain personality traits that you haven't necessarily seen in other dogs or other cats?
Would you repeat that for me?
Do you think that Lulu or Malcolm have certain personality traits that you perhaps have not seen in other cats or dogs?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
My cat is very aggressive with everybody, so
Okay, interesting.
I'm not trusting my cats at all.
Okay.
They're completely different from some cats. I don't know where does it come from, but yeah. And my dog is actually a thief. Every time that he's seeing some food, every time that we yell at him, he doesn't give a shit. So.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's good. Do you think? Have you also noticed that they have some fears or something they're afraid of?
Yeah, actually, my cat is a little bit afraid of everything.
Okay.
Or every big move that I've done or that someone did is always something for the cat. And for my dog, yeah, actually, he's fear about like trucks, big cars, and stuff like that, right?
Interesting. Do you treat them as members of the family, or do you see them as inferiors?
No, I don't see them as members of the family. I see them as animals. Well, we take care of them, but they are animals, so stay as
They're animals, so they're inferior to you. They're
Yeah.
not members of the family.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask why are they inferior to you?
Well, because they are animals, so I'm not treating like an
We're
animal.
animals also, right? At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yeah, but the fact that I'm treating like my dog because it's dog or my cat because it's a cat, I don't get like the respect that I get for them is completely different. Like I give some food for my dog outside after we ate and so like this understand well. We pet him, you know what I mean?
So okay, so you see them as inferior. Would it be fair for you to exploit them and slaughter them because you see them as inferior?
I didn't understand.
So you say you see them as inferior, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean you can do whatever you want to them?
No.
No?
No, I can't do whatever I want to them because like we choose to pet them and stuff like this. So we will choose also to respect them and give them like the good life they expected, but not that much. So even if I consider inferior to me, I treat them like as good animal. I like pet them, feed them, water them, get them
Why?
out twice a day. Why? Because they need it.
Because they need it.
we choose to pet them, we choose to get them out from the refugee or from.
Yeah, you think of them, you think of
Yeah.
their needs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, do you think that other animals who have personality traits, who are kind of like ourselves, right? Who are subjects of their own universes, do you think other animals deserve the same treatment where we don't use them or where we don't do whatever we want to them?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
More or less, okay. Do you think this also applies to the animals that we normally farm, like cows, chickens,
Yeah.
pigs? Do you think we don't have any rights to do whatever we want to
No,
them?
exactly. We don't have the rights to pet them or like kill them like they've been on like for 3 months and kill them just for our food and stuff. So
But do you think that when we buy an animal product, we are saying that you can do whatever you want
Yeah,
to them as
of
long as
course.
I get my animal product?
yeah. Well, it's depending of the fact that there is like on the mind of people, I guess, where you can choose what I want for animals like rabbits, cat, dogs, fish, and stuff like it. And I think there is also some humans that they consider like cow, pork, chicken as a farm animal that I want to eat and not pet, which is not fair. But
Yeah, it's not fair, as you
No,
said,
no.
right? So, do you think then it would it be safe to assume then buying animal products is not fair towards the animals?
sorry.
Then is it safe to assume that buying animal products is not fair towards the animals?
No, it's not fair, of course.
It's not, right? Do you buy any animal products?
Yeah, actually, yeah, but I'm trying to reduce my way to consume the animal products in all the way. Could be animals, meat, animal origins, as also.
Yeah, like
clothes.
leather,
Yeah,
clothing.
absolutely.
Can I ask why?
Because I'm considering that we get like the technology and the advance to animals to substitute the animal products and origins. So I should.
Exactly. We don't need to do
Yeah,
it anymore.
exactly.
So then, how do you justify even doing it once a week if you do it? Because you said you're trying to reduce, so that means you've not stopped.
Because also I'm working on kitchen and catering stuff, and sometimes I don't want to fight for the people as a chef or something like that, because my position on it my position and the chef also are something else. But the more that we are on my restaurant, for example, we try to do like the local stuff, like getting like a cow that lives.
It doesn't really matter to
outside.
the animals if it's local or not,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
To
I
the
know.
animals,
No,
they
yeah,
still
yeah.
get
I know what
exploited
you
and
mean,
killed,
but
yeah.
we try to get like the. How can I explain this? The word in English.
You're trying to get the high quality products, right? That's
Yeah.
what you mean.
And maybe also the way that chicken, pork, cow lives, like not close or like with no space at all. We try to do the stuff
But who
like.
cares? That doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, I know that
Because they still get exploited and killed at the end, right?
I know.
So I understand in your job you kind of have to do this. It is what it is. You can still change your job, by the way, but like say you cannot. You have your own. Who am I to say what you can do with your job? But with your choices, when you consume animal products yourself, or when you buy an animal product, whether it's for clothing, for food, or for anything, how do you justify it then, right? Like I understand in your job you have an obligation to do what you need to do, but in these other situations you have no obligation, right?
No,
You
I
can
don't
easily
get.
choose
No, I
otherwise.
don't get any obligation. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true. But, and Is that like the way that I've been grown up? I'm trying to change my mind step by step, and I'm sure that one day I'm not gonna eat animals for sure.
And
at some point.
that's a very good that's a very good thing. But keep in mind that while you do it, while you still participate in this, animals still get exploited and slaughtered for you.
Yeah.
And if you were in their shoes, would you want the other side to say, "I'll think about it at some point, stop," or would you want them to say, "No, fucking stop right now"?
Yeah, of course. I know exactly what you mean.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they're very much like your cat and dog. They have emotions. They don't want to. I mean, whether you see them as inferior or not, which is it is what it is. I personally don't see animals as inferior because I think we're all animals. We're just smarter, but they're smarter. They have different capabilities than us. But either way, that doesn't justify me paying for them to be exploited or slaughtered, right? It just, regardless if I want to stop at some point, regardless if I do it once a year, it's still that one animal that goes into a slaughterhouse for me. It's wrong for me. It's just right.
No, I completely understand your POV, but there is also the fact that we completely changed the way that we eat animals way, because let's say 1,000 years ago we did it because we didn't have any other substitute. The technology advanced to it, and we should change because the way that we eat animals is like completely crazy now, completely crazy.
It is, yeah.
It's
I mean,
completely
100
crazy.
years ago, we didn't even eat that many animal products.
No,
to
no,
begin with,
exactly,
right? Like today, it's
exactly.
insane what's happening. But
No.
but even if, again, like today, as you said, we have options. That's the big difference. So that means even with options, even consuming one time an animal product, it just means we choose to exploit an animal when we can choose otherwise.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And is
And-
that not wrong?
No, yeah, of course it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because, but it's also the fact that you're considering animals as some someone, and there is some people with a Cartesian mind that consider as inferior as us, so that's why they eat animals. So it's also a question of how you consider an animal or not.
Yeah, but as you said, even if you see them as inferior, because you consider them inferior, right? So even if you see them as inferior, that doesn't give you the right to do whatever you want to them, to take their body autonomy away.
No,
right?
of course.
So then again, I come back again. So that means that even if you, and I'm sorry, like I understand. First of all, it's great that you want to stop, and I appreciate that. But wanting to stop and saying I'll stop at some point is they mean nothing to the animals. Or everything until you stop means it's effort that it might not mean enough, you know, because to those animals that still get exploited on your way to stopping, to them they lose their whole life for you. Their whole existence gets lost for you. You know, their whole body autonomy, everything.
Yeah.
And you can always choose otherwise. You can always say I'll stop. There's no need for you to continue doing it. And I understand this again in your job, but in your choices. It's
My
different.
choices. I know. I really try, like, let's say, not a month with meat, no fish or something like that. But at some point, like, when I'm with my family or getting to somewhere else, there is no other option, and I'm like, it is what it is. Sorry, but this time I have to say yes.
But you always have options, don't you? Like even if you go to a place where you don't have plant-based options, let's say, you can choose to not eat there.
Yeah. Of
right?
course. Of
Like
course.
you're not gonna die. You can
No,
go
of
somewhere
course,
else and
of
eat
course, I'm not
afterwards,
gonna die.
right?
No,
Yeah.
you're totally right. And
Yeah.
like I told you, my mind is on the way to change it. So one day we'll do it like differently.
Okay, I'll just ask you this one final question. How many more animals should be exploited for you before you make this change?
One.
One?
One last. No, I don't know. I can't. But I know the subject of these topics. I completely.
Yeah, I mean, you seem like a compassionate person. You seem to understand the idea. Just don't allow this to go on, because you will. It's so easy for us when this perspective, we don't see what's happening to them, but they go through awful shit that we can't do. Like, I have this thing here. That's a lot of the times people don't really see this kind of stuff, and just because they don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, you know?
Because I'm following like L240
Yeah.
associations, so I completely understand those topics.
Yeah, it's shit like this that animals pay for us, even if you do it one time. You know, this one animal, if you do it one time and this animal happens to them, this one time they don't want that to happen to them. You wouldn't want that to happen to you.
Of course.
You see what I mean? So every choice we make matters, even if at some point we're not gonna make that choice anymore. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I want to thanks for the fight that you are making for animals.
Thank you. Please don't go vegan, okay? Don't let this. Don't. Do you know what being vegan means, by the way?
Vegans like not getting any bad animals to pets and stuff.
Yeah. So being vegan means we respect animals. We means we don't exploit them, don't slaughter them, don't use them, and that inherently implies we don't eat them, we don't wear their skin, we don't use them for their body secretions like milk or eggs or stuff, right? You have 24/7 help here, 24 coaching. You have Challenge 22, it's free. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day. You have everything you need there. Make better choices, okay?
Yeah.
Especially while you're here in Amsterdam, there's so many resources. But where are you from in France?
Brittany.
Brittany.
Yeah.
I've been to Paris and I can tell you there's a lot of options. I'm assuming you also have options in
Yeah, of
supermarkets
course,
and such,
of course.
right?
No. To be honest, yeah. It's only my question and my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, like I told you, and I will also understand your POV.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be.
It's not
improving
mine,
myself.
it's theirs, right? It's their animal, the POV of from their point of view, they either go to a slaughterhouse or they don't. They're either brought into an existence of exploitation or not. It's not. There's no middle for them, right?
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. Like maybe for us there is, as you see it. You see it in the middle where you're like, I'm gonna stop at some point. But while you're in there, and on that other side to them, you're the same exploiter, abuser, oppressor to them, right?
I know, I understand. Which is me.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Somebody became a member. Tone. Hello, Tone. Welcome. Hello, welcome to the membership area. This is now your membership song. This is your membership song. No, I can't sing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. How many more people of a different color than you should be discriminated against and disrespected by you? Says Vegan Animal Defenders. Them one. Yeah, that's exactly true. That's a very good point. You want to try a social experiment? We're getting another one. Hi, Chip. Hi, VA. Nice to see you here. Hi. Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sure.
What's your name?
Emily.
Emily. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia. Okay. Emily, can you come closer so that you're in view?
Sure.
Nice. So, Emily, what's your take on oppression?
In what sense?
Are you
Like
for
just
it?
in
Are you
general?
against it? Yeah, in general.
No, against.
Against it. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless? What if they get some form of benefit from it? Like
As in the powerless get a benefit?
no, the
or
powerful get some benefit from it.
No.
No.
That makes it worse.
Okay. And what if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed?
I think that's happens a lot.
So it's
I
still
think
bad.
that-
It should
yeah,
still not happen.
But I think that's the case. And
Do you think that the powerful have an obligation, if they are oppressing, to stop oppressing?
if they're actively oppressing someone, then yes. But
Okay.
if they're part of a system, then I think it's more their obligation to.
So if they have the option to stop oppressing, even if they're part of a system or not, they should stop oppressing.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think, and this is the hard question, do you think that we're oppressing animals when we're forcing them into slaughterhouses for us?
Yes, I'm a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian.
I'm vegetarian.
Okay. Why are you a vegetarian?
For that exact reason.
Ah, for animals. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Do you consume any animal products whatsoever?
Some. I know the dairy industry is just as bad.
Yeah.
So I try to minimize. Like I don't drink milk. I don't have butter. Unfortunately, I'm not as good with the dairy products. Like I don't have eggs, but I do have. I do consume things with dairy in them. Like
But do you know what
chocolate or
happens to
ice
dairy
cream.
cows?
Yes. I
Can you
do.
tell me, just to be sure that you're...
I do know that they are systematically raped to force them to produce milk for our consumption.
And then have their babies taken from them and killed
Yes,
if
and
they're
those are
male.
slaughtered.
Yeah. Okay. So is there any difference between consuming meat and consuming dairy then? Because it seems like both exploit and kill
Not
animals.
really.
Not
No.
really. So then can
That's
you...
why I do my best not to consume dairy.
But then can you really be against the exploitation or against oppression while at the same time you support it when you buy products that contain dairy?
I mean, No. You're right, and I know you're right, which is why I try my best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
to
judging you.
consume
I
it.
used to be there too. You know, I get it.
No, like I know that. That's why I try my best not to consume dairy.
But do you think that even if you do it, and I appreciate that you try your best, by the way, that's great, right? But even if you do it once a year, don't you think that to that one animal that goes into a slaughterhouse for you that gets systematically
agree.
raped, it's to them it matters that you do it.
No, I completely agree with
To
you.
them it just matters that you did that one time, right? Not that
Yeah.
you do it once a year or how often you do it. So what would incentivize you to stop?
I mean, it's just that's just the thing, though, right? Like, there's no other incentive to stop. It's like the knowledge is incentive enough. Just
And don't you see it as
People
an
don't.
obligation to stop?
I do, like,
Yeah.
which is why. But I mean, I think consuming less is better than consuming constantly.
I mean,
Like-
beating your wife less is better than beating her every day, but you're still beating your
True.
wife, you see what I mean? It's
Yeah,
still
I
an
think-
injustice that you're participating
Yeah,
in.
but I think people can only do their best. Like,
But is there really no way that you cannot consume dairy products?
no, there is, but like,
So you're not doing your best.
but I am doing my best. I'm not perfect.
That's not about being perfect, is it? Because being perfect would maybe imply that you also do activism or other forms. The bare minimum you can do is not participate in animal exploitation, abuse, or slaughter.
I mean, I disagree with that. The bare minimum you can do is try. And I do try.
So
I
let's-
do more than try.
So let's put it this way. If I say that I respect women, and
Mm.
I say I try, but every once in a while I have to beat up one woman. Every once in a while. Can I still maintain the status of me respecting animals? Respecting women, sorry.
I see your point, but I also don't agree. I think it's
I mean, logically, it cannot happen. You can disagree or agree with it, but the logic says if you support
No.
one thing, you are for it. Can you stop? Yes. Then you're for it.
true, but there are other things that come into like consumption, like cost, time, the impact of all those things. So
But
like
you can't. Time is the same. It doesn't really matter, right? Like time is. It's not like it takes more time to.
not necessarily. It takes a lot more time to find dairy alternatives than it does to find straight dairy.
But what are we talking about? What dairy alternatives are we talking about? Like what is it that you can't find alternatives to? Because it's kind of. I'm just
It's
curious.
not me personally. Like I said, I don't consume milk or eggs or butter, and those are the main things. Like,
But you do consume some dairy products, you say, right? So what are those products?
usually ice cream or chocolate.
You can easily find vegan ice cream and chocolate. Come on, there's so much great vegan chocolate nowadays.
Yeah, it's usually, but that's the main argument with people though, is that it's not the same. Like
Like
it's
the
not.
taste.
Yeah, it's not as good. It's not the same.
But who cares?
Some people do.
But do you care?
Sometimes.
Do you think the difference in taste justifies systematic rape?
No, but I think
But your actions say that when you buy that. You know that, right?
then maybe
I
like
mean,
that's.
I mean, when we say one thing and do another, it's just we're just paying lip service. We're not really saying anything, right? But we can say whatever we want if
don't
our
know.
actions are the ones who speak for ourselves mostly.
I just think that in how it is now, when people at least try, like the biggest thing is that people don't want to cut it out at all. So I think as someone who,
But who cares? Again, who cares what people want? It's like imagine during slavery times. Of course, the people who had slaves did not want slavery to end because they get benefit from it. Like I asked you about oppression. When you're the oppressor, of course, if you get benefit from it, you don't want to stop. But you have an obligation to stop, as you said also, because you're an oppressor. You're oppressing these animals when you're forcing them into slaughterhouses, when you're systematically raping them, right?
yeah, I see your point.
Right? And it's not like we got it. If I ask you, how do you see animals? Do you see them as resources or do you see them as individuals?
I see them as animals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see them as resources.
Yeah, so they're not objects, right?
Well, no, they're living things, but they're also.
But systematically raping them and then killing them and using them until they can no longer give, that's literally treating them as objects. So when we buy animal products like what you said, chocolate or ice cream, we're literally saying to the farmers, do more of this so that I can get this product.
Yeah, but I think if you're focusing so much on cutting it out in total, that's the argument that gets people. People are less likely to cut things out at all if you you try and guilt them into cutting it out.
But focus on
completely.
the victims. Focus on the victims. Don't focus
But
on
it
the
doesn't
products.
work like that. Logically, it doesn't work like that in society. If you tell people, well, you have to cut it out completely, otherwise you're not doing anything.
I'm
you're
not telling you have to cut it out. You can eat vegan ice cream. I'm not telling you to cut up whatever you eat, whatever you want.
No,
Just don't,
but you're
just don't
saying to
involve
completely
victims.
cut out animal products and dairy products. That's
I'm saying to completely cut out animal exploitation. I don't care what you eat. I really don't care.
but those arguments interconnect. To cut out animal products is to cut out animal
They only
exploitation.
interconnect if you want to. Again, like you don't. When you want to eat ice cream, you don't have to eat dairy ice cream. You can eat vegan ice cream. When you want to eat chocolate, you don't have to eat
I know.
dairy chocolate.
I think we're saying the same thing. I'm saying that if you tell people they have to cut out all dairy and animal products in total, they're less likely to do it.
Maybe, but I'm not here telling people what to do. I'm just telling people what their actions, what the repercussions of their actions are, and I'm hoping that people are well informed enough where they want to make decisions where they don't want to be animal abusers or animal exploiters.
Sure,
or something
but
like
people already know the facts. People already know what it does. People already know
that. Not
all
everybody.
these things.
There's people who don't know. There's people who once they know they don't want to do it again. There's people who like you who know and are apathetic to it and still participate in it.
I wouldn't say I'm apathetic. I
I'm
say
so- I'm
I
sorry
would
if
say
I-
I try my best.
You try your best, but
But again, at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. I try my best. I cut it out of about 85% of my life. But that 15%, sometimes that 15% happens.
so if somebody 15% of the time, again, does what we do to animals to people, would you say that's okay? They're not perfect. They're trying.
But that's the thing. You can't, there's no perfect 100%. In any situation, there is no perfect 100%. There's no way to do that. To humans, to animals, to anything. There will never be a perfect 100%.
I mean,
there's
you can choose, you can make choices. Of course, if you accidentally buy products, of course, we live in a world where animals are exploited in ways we can't even imagine.
Sure, but
as
then
long
that's
as
the
your
same-
intent is to always never participate in this, to try, like you know that animals are exploited for dairy. If you know that you're buying a dairy product, you know you're supporting exploitation.
But your argument then stands the same. If it's not perfect, you do it accidentally, then you're still contributing to that.
Yeah, but accidentally is the
0.001%.
difference versus intentionally, right? Because you intentionally buy stuff. You intentionally support animal exploitation. There is a difference there. Accidentally means, oops, I made a mistake. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm gonna look more. I'm gonna try to not make that mistake again. But if I intentionally do it, it means I'll never try to change that. It just means I know that I'm doing something wrong and I'll continue doing it, and I justify it by saying that, well, I'm not perfect, nobody is, therefore I can continue doing it.
I don't think it's looking at it like that. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying that these things happen. There are also other ways around it, like supporting sustainable brands, supporting people who give back. Companies that don't exploit animals, that use actual farming communities rather than mass corporations and slaughterhouses.
Farming communities still exploit animals. All farmers exploit animals.
Sure, but there are also people making a living. And there are some, it's better to...
Well, why are you justifying them, what they do? Do you think it's justifiable just because they
No,
make
but I
money
think-
from it?
No, but I think there are a lot of... I come from a farming country. Farmers are...
All countries are farmer countries. All of them.
Yes, but in Australia, farming is a massive agricultural contributor.
Everywhere is. It's everywhere.
There are some countries that need farming more
Either
than
way.
other countries. Okay? And there are farmers that don't contribute to those. There are to these corporations, to these slaughterhouses.
I don't care about corporations. I literally don't care about the
I know, but I think your argument is too
I'm
encompassing.
strictly speaking for animals. I'm here. Imagine if I was a cow who couldn't speak for themselves. I'm literally saying, hey, please stop. Please stop. My brothers and sisters no longer want to be sexually exploited and killed. Please
But
stop.
I'm saying these happen in mass producing corporations and
What do you mean
warehouses.
like literally, you're talking to a cow right now, and I'm saying, how can you not stop? I don't care if other corporations are doing it. Why are you still supporting them? Whether they're small farms or large farms. I don't care if I'm on a small farm or a large farm. You are exploiting me. Why not stop?
But that's not the point I'm making.
You're trying to make a point where the system is imperfect, where there's corporations happening.
No, I'm saying I'm imperfect. That's why I will occasionally consume dairy, because I'm imperfect. And these things happen. Sometimes you have a really long day. Sometimes you just want to come home and you want to have a tub of your favorite ice cream. Okay? And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that to take a like
So my brothers and sisters should be killed because because you had a hard day?
no.
That's what you're saying. You're saying sometimes I have a hard day and I want to get home and eat some ice cream that I like. Well, behind that ice cream that you like, my brothers and sisters were exploited and slaughtered, were sexually exploited, were used for their milk, for their everything, so that you can have your favorite ice cream.
But my point is that you can't, like, you're taking a totalitarian argument about it.
It's not.
Like-
It's literally, there's literally, like, is there a little bit of slavery that we should accept? Is there a little bit of women's rights that we should accept that should be taken away? No, there's either you completely respect women and leave them alone, either you completely respect animals and leave them alone, either you completely like respect all humans and don't enslave them. It's the same thing. A little bit of enslavement of animals just so that you can get some products is not, it's still enslavement. A little bit of killing, it's still killing.
But it's the same with the clothing argument.
What do you mean by the clothing argument?
Like with mass clothing corporations and all the waste they produce and buying cheap.
Yeah, and of course, if you are always presented with a choice, like you have to buy clothes. Let's say you're in a situation where you have to buy clothes, and you're presented with a situation where one clothes participates in all that thing that you say it's ugly and one that doesn't. Why would you ever choose the one that does? Because the one that doesn't look slightly odd, or it's a different color that you don't like. How can you justify supporting all that for a different color or something that you don't like, right? It's the same thing.
Well, it's not the same thing. You can get a liter of milk at home for 99 cents. To get the same amount of almond milk, it's $3.50. There are some people.
Oat milk. There's other options.
But it's the same thing. They're all
But you
more
don't have to have any milk, right? That's the whole point of it. Like that milk does not belong to you in the first place. That milk was
Sure.
made for
And I agree,
baby
but I don't think
cow.
the argument can be taken in a completely holistic way for every single person. Has to completely cut out everything. It's not. This is something like this is a fight that needs to be done in small steps.
Should every single person on this planet respect women's rights?
Yes.
So why shouldn't every single person on this planet
Because
respect animals' rights?
people don't view humans and animals in the same.
I'm not saying view humans and animals. I'm saying the basic body autonomy, the basic right to body autonomy. Let them do whatever they want with their own body. It's simple as that.
I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying it doesn't it's not going to work like that. It's never worked like that, and it still doesn't.
It also still doesn't for all women, right? Women are still not being respected, but that doesn't mean you participate in it or you choose to do it. And you're calling this view where I'm saying you should stop all, you're calling it an absolutist view or totalitarian view, but the reality is it's the basic minimum we can do. Just like it was when women didn't have rights, the bare minimum we could do is accept women as part of society and see them as individuals just like we are.
But that's not how that worked either. The fight for women did not go from.
No, systematically, but the system changed in steps, not people.
But that's what I'm saying.
As a person, you either respected women or you didn't.
But I'm saying the system needs to change in steps. And if people are
The
taking.
system, but you don't. The people that were part of the system, you are either part of the system that were saying that women shouldn't have rights or women should have rights. Are you part of the system that says animals should not have rights or animals should have rights?
I think animals should have rights, but I disagree.
But you can't say that
this is
and
something.
continuously support their exploitation, abuse, and slaughter for something that you enjoy. You just can't say that. Like you realize there's a contradiction. Even if you do it once a month, there's still a contradiction that once a month you can choose otherwise.
I disagree. I think that small steps are more important than having one person take an absolutist.
Of course, small steps.
Lifestyle.
Listen, any change means something. I'm not saying that.
And I
But
think it's
you as
okay
a
if people
person-
make small changes.
But you have already made small changes. You're just refusing to even make the next small changes. You've already
not
made the small
refusing.
changes. You're
I'm not-
justifying them.
I am justifying it.
Yeah, but that's in a sense you're trying to get this approval that we
I don't need your approval.
No,
I
but-
don't need an approval from anyone else. I'm just saying I think, like you've asked me a question about the animals,
Yeah.
I think that small steps are more important than one person.
So what's your next small step?
I don't know.
Don't
I
you
don't
think
know.
your next small step
I
should be
keep-
cutting out all of these?
Sure. My small step is reducing my dairy intake until eventually I don't have any.
That's you already done. What's your next small step?
But it's not. Reducing dairy intake is a lot harder, like not a lot harder, but it's not just one day I woke up, I don't have any milk, butter, anything. Like I still have small
So
steps
why do
in
you
those
continue?
things.
Listen, why do you continue? Like in this whole argumentation, you continuously say I. You never for once think about the animals that suffer for your choices. Like, why is it that you continuously say I need milk, I need this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I don't
I
like
don't
this, I
need
don't
milk.
like that.
Milk isn't made for humans, which is why I don't drink it.
No,
That's
but
why I don't eat eggs.
But you know what I mean. Ice cream. You don't drink milk, but you eat ice cream. It's the same thing. It doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, like I said, I'm taking my small steps. That's how I'm trying to help. I can't speak to everyone else, and I can't speak if you want me to.
So what would you say to these animals that for those small steps that you take still go into a slaughterhouse for you? What would you tell them?
I wouldn't tell them anything. They're animals.
Okay, but
They
if
can't
you could
understand
tell
anything
them
that I
something,
say.
if you could tell them something and they could understand it, what would you tell them?
I don't know.
How would you justify looking them in the eye and say slashing their throat so that you can have ice cream?
Well, I don't slash their throat so I can have ice cream.
You
don't
pay
need-
somebody to do it.
I don't know. If they could understand, it would be an uncomfortable situation. But they can't. And like I said, I'm doing my best. And the people in the community who are trying to help animals are doing their best in the small steps that they take. And I don't think that starting a discussion with someone about animal rights just to jump down their throat and say, well, you're not doing anything, it doesn't count because
I didn't say
still...
you're not doing anything, but well, you see, that's what you heard. And that's an interesting perspective because I kept saying that, yes, of course, small steps matter, and thank you for doing that.
But
And
you
I keep saying
circle
that.
back around to say, well, even
It's
if you
not
do
enough
it once a month, even
because
if you...
it's not enough. It's simply not enough.
Maybe it's not, but it's all that some people do. It's all that some people can do.
But that's not all that you can do. You can try to speak for others, but you know that that's not all that you can do.
No,
And
but it's not just about me. You're talking about everything.
we can talk about societies and in general, but the reality is we as individuals have our responsibilities, and I'd like to talk to each individual at a time, and I'm talking to you now, and I'm sorry if it seems like I'm scolding you. The reality is that I really am speaking for these animals, and you seem like one person who needs just that one extra step to stop oppressing animals, and you are refusing to take that one extra step, and you
I'm
are
not refusing.
No, but you're just trying to justify it and try to explain it, and I understand your perspective. Trust me, I do understand your perspective. I just really want you to understand that from the other side, those animals, they don't give a shit if you do it once a month or you do it every day. To that one animal that goes into a slaughterhouse for you, they say stop, don't do it at one time. Literally, to them it doesn't matter. To them it's life and death. You either choose life or death for them.
Yeah. Like you're right. I don't know. I think we've gone around a few times with the same arguments.
Yeah, we have. Listen, I appreciate you talking to me. Just if I created some frustration for you, I'm sorry. Please don't take it out on the animals. That's what I want to say. Please
I'm not going to go and have a meat pie because...
There's people who do that. I don't know. Just keep in mind, please don't do that.
No.
And number one. And number two, I understand you want to take small steps. And I appreciate as long as your destination is to never exploit one single animal, it's great. Just keep that in mind that while you're doing that, those animals will still be exploited for you. And you know, if you were in line to be exploited and somebody could stop, you would want them to stop, not say, okay, take your time, you know? If you were in the shoes, in their situations, you would want somebody else to stop. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay. I wanted to give you a card, but sorry, but I don't have any more
that's
cards
okay.
left.
That's fine. My sister's waiting for me somewhere.
Okay. Thank you so much for having
No
this
worries.
conversation
Have
with
a good
me.
day.
And there's a
luck with
lot of
everyone
great
else.
vegan restaurants here in Amsterdam, by the way. I highly suggest you to try them.
Yeah, we eat at vegan restaurants.
Okay. There's one here called the Soul. I forgot how it's called. The Old Soul. Very
Okay.
good. And there's
Yes,
vegan
yes,
sushi
Soul.
bar. It's absolutely delicious. If you
Okay,
want
cool.
to try that.
All right,
Okay.
thanks.
Have a good one. Okay, everyone. I think we reached the natural conclusion of this conversations. Laura says, "Great reconciliation at the end." I mean, I think I don't know. You know, sometimes I want to try and push some people more because I think like some people are capable of more. I just wanted to push her a little bit more because I think she's capable of more. She understood it. She kind of felt for it. But yeah, what can you do? I don't know if this is effective, but I think this is great to come back to the first part like you did there. to make them understand they were saying the total opposite at the beginning. Yeah, I wanted to say that. This was hands down your best outreach yet, Chip. Well done, says Vegan Animal Defender. Yeah, thanks, Vegan Animal Defender. Sometimes I like to push, as I said. I only push when I think it can be effective to push, and I honestly think she will change. That's my take on it. But I never know, who am I to know? But the whole thing has finished. The activists are packing up. I'm also gonna finish this live stream. If you're not subscribed, everybody, please subscribe. We do these live outreaches a lot. We'll do them again in the following week. There will be a couple of days when they'll do it again. I don't know exactly yet when. I'll try to make some planning out of it so that you can kind of know and come when you want. You guys want to try a social experiment? Yes. Okay, I'll just ask you this. It says animal abuse should be legal.
No.
No, why not?
Because it's not good. It's not a human thing.
Not a human thing to abuse animals.
I think it's not good, but it's necessary. So we can eat meats. I love meat. So if we don't abuse of cows, I don't eat my steak every day, because it's society. If there is not a bad treatment to the cows, there is not going to be cheap meat. That's my opinion.
Okay, so you're saying that killing an animal for something that is optional to you is not abuse?
What again?
Is killing an animal for something that is optional to you abusive?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think the same?
I think the same, because he is alive, but it's part of our culture.
But what is abuse?
Abuse, I mean, how would you define abuse? For me, I would say it's physical or emotional harm.
So it's something unnecessary. So you can kill a cow without abuse.
Well, or it's not. I don't think you can kill anybody without abusing them. Any form of killing is inherently abusive, right?
So I agree that it's necessary.
But how would you justify it being necessary when the scientific consensus is that we can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet?
Because I love meat.
But that doesn't mean it's necessary. That just means you.
For me, yes.
That means you love it. If I love having sex with women,
yes.
Can I justify raping them because I love it?
No.
So how can you justify forcing yourself onto animals because you love the product afterwards?
You're true. It's true.
Right? Because that's the whole deal. Like, I'm here trying to speak on people, trying to see from the perspective of animals.
Okay.
The reality is, we can love what products they give us, we can love whatever they do, but we can't deny the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter that they suffer.
Yeah.
So therefore, we gotta ask ourselves: is the exploitation, abuse, or slaughter that they suffer, is it morally justified for us to get our pleasure, to get the little pleasure that we get from it?
I don't think it's justified, but I think it's the way the societies go for a lot of times. But I think in the future, we stop to eat animals because we have other ways, like something that imitate meat so well that you don't need.
It's expensive.
I mean, it's not. You can find plant-based meats, whatever. And even if it's expensive, I mean, you look well dressed. What do you mean? You look.
But that doesn't mean that I have money. I like to
it
dress
doesn't
well.
mean. But come on, when a steak is far more expensive probably than any other type of.
More
yeah. So
expensive.
it's like, of course, we can think from our perspective and justify by saying it's expensive, it's this, it's that. But the reality is, again, does any of that justify what they go through? Exploitation, abuse, slaughter. I don't know. Have you ever seen what they go through?
Yeah, I have seen it.
You have seen it.
It's fucking awful.
It's insane, huh? So is that justified?
No.
No, it's not. Regardless if we like it or not, that's the reality. So then, of course, society is fucked up that we do this. Society was also fucked up that we had slavery for a long time. Society was fucked up that we didn't have women's rights. But at some point, some people started standing up and saying no to it, and then other people joined.
It's part of the change.
Yeah,
it can change.
So that's what I'm doing here. I'm part of the change. I want society to not be fucked up for this anymore. Do you guys want to be part of the change, or do you want to be continuing this support for animal exploitation, abuse, and slaughter?
We look with good eyes the change. I think it's not a negative thing.
Yeah, you see it well, but do you yourselves want to participate in the
How
change?
we can help without eating meat.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
The
it.
bare minimum you can do is not buy animal products. And I don't mean meat, I mean milk, cheese, all of it. They're all...
Also eggs.
Yeah, do you know what
Everything.
happens for eggs? Have you...
Tell me.
So for eggs, for example, in hatcheries...
Because I love eggs.
Yeah, so in hatcheries, the place where chickens come from, right?
Yeah.
Chickens hatch from an egg, and there's a 50-50 chance that they're either born male or female. If they're born female, they go to small farms, large farms, backyard farms. If you've ever had a chicken, they come from a hatchery. If they're born male, that's not what will that they don't suffer the same, but rather they get killed on their first day of life. I'm trying to show you. Let's see if I have it here. I do have it somewhere. I should put some indicators. No.
Don't worry.
Trying to find it. So they're usually just blended up alive. Oh, this is a procedure where they.
What is that? Nuts?
These are chickens.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're fucking small.
These are male chicks. This is another way they kill them because they don't produce eggs. They put them in a bag and then they asphyxiate them to death.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane. That's either asphyxiate them to death or they blend them up alive. I do have a photo of them being blended up alive also.
What do you think if I have chickens in the house?
I mean, if you have
A
chickens,
small production.
like
for me and my family.
Yeah, but you're still supporting the hatchery, right? You're still supporting this blending up of, because when you have chickens, you have female chickens. You don't have male chickens. You're still buying
male.
from a place where they blend up chickens. You see, and you're still supporting this idea that animals are resources. Do you think animals are resources?
Yeah, but I can change my mind.
Yeah, because we saw animals and humans as resources for a long time. But do you know what sentience is?
What?
Sentience.
Maybe in English, I don't know.
So it means to have emotions, to be the subject of your own experience, of your own universe. That's what matters the most to me, right? Like you are the subject of your own universe, right? You experience
it's like
the world
in
around.
in my universe, maybe it's legal the human traffic, but if I don't like it, I can change my universe.
Exactly.
Like religion.
Understand.
Either
Everyone
way-
has their reality.
Either way, like your own universe means basically how you experience the world. You walk around, you see this, you like that, you don't like that, you smell. Animals have exactly the same experience, right? They walk around, they experience emotions towards what they see. They like one thing, they don't like another. They feel fear, they have emotions. So in that same sense, that's how they interact with the world exactly like we do. Of course, all of us are different and interact differently, but in all the ways that matters, we are similar to animals. Sure, we're more some of us are more intelligent than them, some are just as intelligent as them, but I don't think intelligence should ever justify exploiting them,
Yes,
right?
you can be a human with a problem, and that's not justify some abuse.
Exactly.
But also about like nature. You should care about nature. Also, trees feel. So, if you care about animals, you should care about all things that have life. Like maybe fungus. People think that fungus no matter, but they are.
But trees don't have this. The trees don't have the subjective experience that we do, right? They don't have eyes. They don't move. They don't have
That's
emotions.
an argument.
All of it. So the reason why it's bad, for example, for me to hurt your friend, is because he would feel the repercussions of me hurting them, and that comes from sentience. That comes from capability of feeling pain, from having emotions towards it, and from me going into his own universe and making his universe a piece of shit. That's literally.
So trees don't have a universe.
Trees don't have that, but even if they did, the reality is that we grow monumentally more plants for animals because we have to feed those animals than we would otherwise eat ourselves, right? So of course when we live, we inherently create some harm, but we kind of have an obligation to not create extra harm or to not exploit extra beings when we don't need to, right? So what I'm trying to get you, that you're talking here, and I'll be honest with you, what I want from you is for you guys to go vegan. Do you know what being vegan means?
Yes.
Can you tell me what you think it is?
Don't consume animal products like leather, all leather, meat, eggs, milk also. I think milk also, and change your lifestyle. I think.
Yeah, so that's a consequence of being vegan. Being vegan literally means we don't see animals as resources. We see them as individuals and we leave them alone. And the consequence of it, of course, means we don't kill them for food, we don't use them for clothing, we don't use them for entertainment, whatever it is. Yeah, because we can choose otherwise. We don't need to do any of it. So if we respect animals, how can we respect them if we were to choose for them to die for us? When, hey, you know what? I'll choose for you to die. That's not respectful. That's not in no way. We're not treating them with the bare dignity that they deserve, right?
So if you're vegan and you go like to the circus, you say circus in English?
Yeah, we don't go to circuses.
You don't go?
No, not
Because
zoos,
the animal
no
is
circuses.
So
Exactly.
vegan
like a product.
Exactly, they're seen as products. Exactly.
Okay. So vegan is not just about eating; it's about all the things that come from animals.
100%. It's about respecting animals and leaving them alone.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a lot of influencers online who say they're vegan and they only talk about diets and stuff. And the reality is, for most people, the diet is usually the problem. That's why most people justify the exploitation of animals for their diets, not for anything else, right? Like for clothing, everybody on earth would say, yeah, I don't care, I don't need to wear leather. But you don't need to also eat steaks or whatever, right? You can choose to live otherwise.
Don't do it, honestly.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about this? Do you feel like you...
I think you have the right answer. You know what is happening. You know what to do. But it's hard to make a change. So it's good that you are out here talking to people and to have another perspective. Because now I'm more intelligent. I have another perspective.
Yeah, and that's the first part of it, right? Having a different perspective is the first part of it. But what you need to do is get more informed on it, and of course you have to make changes, because seeing it as a different perspective means nothing if we're still participating in this exploitation, if we're still exploiting them. Because do you think that to the animals they matter that you stop seeing them as resources, or do you think to them it matters that you literally don't pay for them to be resources? What do you think matters to them?
Well, the second option have more impact.
Exactly.
The first is just ideas.
Exactly, and the ideas are very important for us to be consistent with
but
it.
if you have ideas and you don't put in practice, it doesn't work.
Exactly. Very nice. I like you guys. You guys seem smart guys.
Have you seen people that is not smart?
I mean, I've seen people who they
Get mad or
they
something?
instantly get blocked and they say, hey, I like my steak, I don't want to stop, whatever, I don't care, animals, whatever, I don't care. And the reality is they probably don't see the shit that they go through, because we created this beautiful world. Supermarkets, they show us these neatly packaged things, but the reality behind them is absolutely gruesome. It's like this is one of those nice scenes from a slaughterhouse, where this is kind of the shit that animals go through every day.
Yeah, there is a movement. I live in Paris, so there's a movement in the street that there is like 20 people with masks.
Anonymous for the voiceless. Yeah,
so that's also very cool. But it's gross. Like they go to TVs and put that videos, and it's like people don't know that. It's like deep web videos, and you see that, and you get like what
they
the
show people the
fuck?
truth. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, and I want to have conversations with people, and I want to get you to stop oppressing animals. So I'll just ask you this one final question, and I want you to be honest. How many more animals do you want to be exploited for you before you make this change?
Hard man.
How many do you want, I ask? How many?
Not how many I'm going. How many I want. Fuck. I don't want to. And fuck.
You can only be vegan if you don't want any animals. How about you?
Zero. I don't want.
Yeah. The only way to do that is to go vegan. If anything else in between means exploiting some animals. Even if once a year we do it, that one animal that goes into a slaughterhouse for us, their whole life gets lost. And for us, that meal that we had that one time, we forget about it and we move on as if nothing happened. But to them, they lose their life.
Yeah, I think I'll do it when I'm in a place with a good, with money going to me, because right now I'm traveling and I don't have money to make my meals. I have a diet and I eat a lot of things, so I can change my diet and start vegan. And easily I can do it. Right now I'm traveling, so what I eat is from shops. Like people give me free food and that's what I eat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to choose give me that because it's vegan. So there is not a lot of shops that are vegan.
But if they give you dog meat, would you eat it?
Dog meat? I don't know if I know that it's dog meat. Yes.
You would still eat it?
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
What about human meat?
Oof. If I don't know, I eat it. If I know, I think about it. Depends.
Yeah.
It's gross.
You got to think about it. Do you have a choice in the matter or not, right? If you have a choice, you got to think, how does my choice impact them?
Yeah.
Because if it does impact, if it does create some form of demand and more animals get exploited,
Yeah.
then try not to. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Okay. Let me
Thank
give
you
you
very
some flyers, and then I'll leave you on your way.
It's fucking cool that you are out here doing this.
Thank you. Oh, not in German. I'll give you in English.
In English, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for having this conversation
Thank
with
you
me.
very
What's your names?
Katak.
Katak. Nice to
And
meet
you?
you. I'm
Nicolas.
Chip.
Chip.
Nicolas. I'm Chip.
Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Do
you.
you have Instagram or something?
Yeah.
Isn't here?
It's not written there. It's that Chip guy. I'm live on YouTube also right now.
Ah, okay.
What's the name?
On Instagram it's a little bit different. Oh, this is my perfect. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me, guys, and no more animal exploitation. Okay?
We agree. Perfect.
I appreciate you guys for
Have a
having this
nice-
conversation with me.
Keep talking with people.
I'll keep
talking
doing.
with
And
people.
Change minds.
and you can do that too, okay? Stop exploiting animals and change minds, because we need as many people as we can. They don't have a voice. That's the reality. We're their only voice, okay?
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a good one. Okay, everyone, there you have it. Another conversation before we ended this. These types of people are the best to talk to. They seem open-minded and willing to learn, says Mark Walters. Indeed, they seemed open-minded and willingness to learn. The activists are waiting for me, so I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed, come on, subscribe. Do that subscribe thing. I think it's down there. Here, subscribe. Come on, like this video and subscribe. I appreciate you for doing that. That's all I want from you guys today. And then, if you're not vegan, please go vegan. Stop exploiting animals. You have heard these conversations. Nobody should be exploiting animals. If you are vegan, please go and speak up. Do one activism today. Do one activism tomorrow. Do something, okay? I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when that is, okay? Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.